starting in the goal square by the look of it. Kellaway to get him.
Knight's on the bench to start the game.
First match for the season, injured in the Ansett Cup against Hawthorn. Belting it out of the centre, Gale. First kick though, I think to Cook, is it? There's a free kick going back to Gale. Stafford running into him. And this will be hot early, that's for sure. Gale gives it off. Run down Bond. Good tackle, Swans, by Chapman. Holding it. So Chapman's free kick at centre wing. Very good player, Chapman. He's had quite a few hits around the head in the last couple of years and been concussed. Goes short. Well, this will be interesting for Maxfield. Not the first time he's played against the Tigers, but he made his name there. Kicks the ball to the pocket. Carey, one of the targets. Michael Gale, front spot. There's Kellaway. He's back with Kelly. And Kelly's got him. Is it out? Boundary throw-in. Gee, if you could bottle the courage between Kelly and Kellaway, boy, you'd be a rich man, wouldn't you?
A fair bit there, yep. Just for the Richmond fans at home, their seconds won. The reserves won by 64 points.
Carey at the back. Good tap. Chapman coming through. Goal. Opening goal of the match. Swans in front early. He is a good player, Chapman. He's not a renowned goal kicker, but that was a good steal. And the Swans have the first on the board.
We'll just watch this again. And Chapman just reading the ball off the pack. The better of those players around that contest. And Bond is certainly going to have his hands full tonight. Just checking down the goal square. Richardson has been picked up by Dunkley and Seymour has picked up Holland.
And Charles along with Chaffey on the bench with Matthew Knights to start the match for the Tigers. And the bounce back at the centre. The big men go at it. Knocked away by Stafford. Michael Gale missed it. Stafford again a chance. Now they come streaming through the Tigers. Push it forward through Powell. In towards centre half forward. Moore taken away by Dunkley. Gets it to Cook. Cook in turn goes to Cresswell. This is Stevens for the Swans. Left foot kick by Stevens is wide. Very wide on the full. The free kick for the Tigers to be taken down here in front of us by Ben Harrison. Harrison's short kick is all right. And the mark is taken here by Powell. Powell sweeps around onto his left foot. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Contest in that area. Gathered there by Orchard. Back to Roos. Roos goes across the half-back line and the mark is taken out there by Seymour.
Swans with numbers. Maxfield's very deep. That's a good kick by Seymour. And now they've got numbers on. Creswell and Lewis are on their own. And to help Carey, if Creswell can go to Lewis if he likes. Decides to go long to fall forward. Getting set, Mooney. Arm up was Bayes. Taken by Swannies. Another one. Kelly! What a start! Tim, they had three blokes all on their own down the flank. They could have waxed it.
Well,
2 goals.
I'm sure Robert Rawls would have spoken to his side before this game about how dangerous Sydney are on the transition. And on that occasion, they took the ball out wide again to Seymour, who ran off Holland. Holland is going to have to watch him when they do gain control of the ball in the back half. And they work the ball all the way down on the flank, finding plenty of space. And in the end, Kelly just kicking one from a crumb. An impressive start by the Sydney Swans.
Well, men on a mission, obviously. So what can the Tigers do in response to that? Gale gets it down. And there was a free kick. Maybe the umpire looking downfield to see if it was an advantage to the Tigers. And it's going to go back to the centre. Plucker, great opening.
Yeah, great opening. I think Wayne Chapman set the scene early when he had that big chase and tackle and got a free kick and then followed up with the boundary throwing, got a goal, and then Cal roving the pack in the forward line there and snapping another one. So the boys have really set the mark early tonight.
Yes, good, very good opening by the Swans. Brendan Gale with the footy goes short. It's taken by Campbell. He looks to run away, bounces, then gets the hand pass away. This is Harrison off the left. It's a bit of a scrubber kick into the forward line. Chance for Richmond here. Swooping on it, Miranda. Goal the Tigers. Miranda kicks Richmond's first goal of the night, and it's 2 goals to 1.
Well, just before that ball arrived, I was thinking how when you do play against the Sydney Swans, you just can't bomb it forward. On this occasion, Harrison just looked up, banged the ball. Really, Lewis would have taken that under normal circumstances, let the ball fall, and Miranda just reading the ball off the pack. But Richmond, if they do get the ball slowly into the forward line, they may have to run it at the Sydney Swans and just push them around a bit because they'll just sit back there as a zone.
Good effort by Miranda and the Tigers, closing the gap. 2 goals to 1. Stafford's high leap, won it. Lewis tries to go through the centre, taken by Daffy. Daffy's quick floated a half forward. Bit of a wrestle there. Roos has got it. Didn't he run into his great form last week against Port? He's been building up as the season's gone on, and again boots it wide to Lewis. It's fascinating to watch this team play. Lewis's long ball, not so good. Harrison with courage, Mooney and Harrison's got the mark at half back. Was good last week against Collingwood. Coming back in, that's a great kick to Richardson. He's got it. Holland, I should say, long way out. In towards full forward. Richardson, big fly. Made a good effort too there, Richardson, as they go to the pocket, off the ground by Nichols, was it, or behind? So Richmond have steadied up here with a goal in the behind in the last minute. 12-7. Kelly and Chapman early goal scorers for the Swans, and Miranda for the Tigers. There's Shannon Grant viewed from behind the goal. Out wide. And it's going to get a reasonable bounce now, John Stevens.
Round onto his left foot, kicks it high over his right shoulder. Get back towards the wing. The ball spills at the back. Broderick, little hand pass, maybe meant for Powell, but Turner is there to help out. That kick is smothered. Kelly, he's just fierce at the footy. Powell gets it back. Advantages with the Tigers. Powell runs away from centre wing, approaches left half forward, hooks the kick in towards centre half forward, but a good mark taken in that area by Paul Roos. Dunkley and Orchard. Orchard's long hand pass. Cresswell's in the middle of the ground. Short kick. Just bounces at the feet of Kelly. On the half volley he does well. Then kicks it to the goal front. It'll bounce high. Just a little awkward there for Callaway, but he had enough time to steady and then kick it wide, and the mark is taken by Prescott.
And goes short to Campbell at centre half back. Got him. Daffy wanted it in the centre. Campbell's going to go wide with a short pass to Michael Gale. Was going to give it off to Prescott. Decided to go inboard to Harrison. Back to Prescott. Ambitious handball, but he's made it all right. High left footer towards the pocket. Not a good kick. Seymour back there. Did it go out in the full? No, he touched it before it did. Boundary throw in. There's the Swans bench. Leo Barry, Simon Armott. A couple of them. Weather tonight 14. Expected to get down to 11. It's felt quite balmy coming into the ground. It is an absolutely perfect night. Gale takes it out of the air. Campbell's handball good. Powell around the body. Richardson a chance. Dunkley front spot. And Tim Watson. That is going to be a highlight of the night. Dunkley versus Richardson.
There's no doubt there's some great marking power there with those two players opposed to each other. And good play from Richardson. He hasn't taken the ball yet, but he's just forced a crumb situation on both occasions when the ball's gone near him.
Boundary throw in. Ben Holland gets his left hand to it. Stevens kicks across the full back line. It bounces awkwardly, but making it his is Nick Daffy. Hooks the kick. Only as far there as Cresswell. Matthew Richardson on the scene. Matthew Richardson gives away the free kick. Hell didn't have the football, was Darren Cresswell. Off to Dunkley. Dunkley goes long, gets good distance. Michael Gale at the back. Roos, former Fitzroy teammates, those two players. There's a few of them here at this ground tonight. Campbell, brilliantly done. Just backed himself away. A la Michael Jordan. Miranda goes for goal. It's close. It's just offline.
Free kick, Robbo, back to...
Free kick back at half forward, is it?
Young Moore, I think. Got one around the head.
Well, Miranda's snapshot missed. So this will give the Tigers another chance. One of our umpires here tonight, Scott McLaren, officiating in that area of the ground. His compatriots tonight, Chris Mitchell and Mark McKenzie. Both sides on 5 wins and 6 losses. So,
and this boy was impressive last week too, Robbo, Ben Moore.
He kicked a few goals.
He was very lively for the Tigers against the Pies last week.
It's Chaffey on the interchange, and Matthew Knight's leaning back, waiting his turn to come on.
Obviously they're going to wait until a bit of the pace goes off the game before they bring Matty Knights on. And that's wise if they can afford to do that.
Well, if Moore can kick a goal here, the Tigers will hit the front, albeit a point. He's shooting from about 40 metres out. Difficult angle. Kicks high. Gets the distance fairly easily, but hooked it a little bit and through for the second behind to Richmond. They trail the Swans by 4 points.
And off the ball, Dunkley having plenty to say to Matthew Richardson.
Shannon Grant wide. Now, has he run over the mark? The line, I think he has, is going to be a bounce of the 10-metre square here. So he's stepped over the mark and kicking the ball in. You don't see this too often.
No, you would think that the umpire at the start of a game such as this would probably warn the player the first time round and just say, look, you're getting far too close to that line. The next time I'll ping you and it'll be a ball up.
So the Tigers with a chance here. Sydney will try and belt it through, perhaps. Miranda can't get through. Gang tackled by 3 Swans, and another bounce. There's no real advantage in Grant getting an extra inch or two, so it's in the laws of the game, but a tough one. Richmond Tiger supporters looking on. There's a few of them here. Cook, clever, well played to Seymour, also well done. Under a bit of pressure, Creswell only got as far as Kellaway. Back to Daffy. Daffy's floating left foot to centre half for Miranda with a chance. Bouncing ball. Still Miranda with him. Stevens. Good battle. Miranda, a little one off the ground. Didn't go far. Kelly's got it. He's away.
Kelly's quick kick goes wide, very wide. Out in front of Carey. Quickly onto him there was Gaspar. Ruse there to help out. Back to Carey. Carey's high kick lands close to the forward pocket region, but a good mark taken by Turner. Full back for Richmond. He goes into centre half back. Campbell has taken the ball. Can maybe transfer play in the direction of Daffy. Chipping in was Cook. Couldn't quite take the mark. Coming down is Richardson. Very skillful player for a big man. Left foot kick. Lands close to half forward. Getting back to Stafford. He's going to get tackled. Well done by Nichols. Forced the hand pass. Orchard is there for the Swans. Hand pass. Cook. Long hand pass. Sets it up beautifully. Nick's missed it. Put himself under a little bit of pressure. Out wide Bays. Watch this kick by Mark Bays. Bang, goal. One of the best kicks in the caper is Mark Bays. First goal to that player and third goal to the Swans. They lead 3 goals. Richmond are 1-2.
Yes, Richo. Yes, Robbo, I know you did say Richo is a very talented player, also a very skillful player, but on that occasion that kick on his left foot really should have hit the mark. They've got to keep possession of the ball when they come down the ground like that, Richmond, otherwise they're going to really be hurt by the Sydney Swans on the turnovers.
Terrific goal by Bays. They lead 3 goals to 1, Sydney. Lewis out of the centre to centre half forward. Lachlan couldn't get back. Gaspar Kelly beautifully done. Tries to get through. Tackle was good by Richmond. They held him up through Burt. Comes back to Creswell. High ball. Back to centre half forward. Moore. Cook comes in. Moore stood his ground courageously. Gaspar away. Started his footy here as the #1 draft choice. Harrison over the top to Gale. This is Michael running away from Lewis. Kicks the ball to half forward. Miranda front spot. Maxfield tried to work to the front. Inside 50 for Richmond. Stafford running it towards the line. Seymour helps him out of play. Exciting start to this game. Sydney lead 3 goals to 1-2.
Bruce, one of the problems playing against the Sydney Swans up here is that their defence is so magnificent. They play this small ground very well, and you can continually take the ball into the forward line, but you can't score. And on the rebound, they score so quickly and so easily against you.
Boundary throw in, left forward pocket for Richmond. A scramble for possession. Getting it out was Charles to Broderick. Broderick swings around onto his left foot. Hooks it to the front of the goals. Up high was Cook, couldn't take it. Dunkley's hand pass will land in the arms of Kellaway. Kellaway's kick into the pocket, and it's been scrambled over by the Swans defence for a throw-in.
And Kellaway's actually down in the forward line at the moment because he's gone down there to pick up Paul Ruse.
So the boundary throw-in. Stafford. Taken by Powell. High ball towards the pocket. Belted over the line.
Interesting move to actually send a defender down into the opposition's defence just to stop Paul Ruse running that ball out, because he does provide himself with being a target when the Swans gain possession of the ball.
Forced towards the line, Nix, and out of play. Well, Robert Walsh has asked before the game about the win over Collingwood boosting morale for the Tigers.
Well, it was a terrific win. It was a hard-fought game, a physical game. The lead changed towards the end, and we were able to come back and win. And terrific for our confidence.
Well, they certainly needed a boost, the Tigers. They've had a fairly ordinary 4 or 5 weeks, so a couple of wins mixed into that. One against the West Coast, and of course that one last week against Collingwood. But the opposition tonight look as though they're pretty keen. The Swans, they lead at the moment. They're 3 goals. Richmond are 1 goal, 2. It's taken away by O'Loughlin. He scrambles a kick towards half forward. Missing it was Broderick. He was held by Cresswell, didn't have the footy, and Paul Broderick will take the free kick for Richmond, much to the ire of the Swans fans. Short kick is with Campbell. He just stands and then delivers high towards centre half forward. Roos is there. Decides on a punch. It stays at centre half forward, not for long. Orchard, Kelly, Stevens, bit of a dasher. Stevens kicks to half forward. Mark is taken by O'Loughlin. Maybe too far out to score. He's nearly up to the 50-metre line. Now he goes for the long bomb into the square. They've got the numbers back. Turner, Bays, taken away by Daffy. Uncustomary role for Nick Daffy down on the full back line. Out wide to Michael Gale. Looks to give the hand pass. Succeeds to brother Brendan. Long strides and then the left foot kick towards half forward, but chopped off by Big Stafford across that line for the Swans.
Casts a giant shadow at times, this fellow, doesn't he? He's
My word.
such a talented and skillful big man, and an athlete with it. Kicks to Creswell at half back. Creswell's away and gets the ball over centre wing. Carey and Gasper, well played Gasper, down to Michael Gale. Troy Cook to put the pressure on, back in board to Broderick. Broderick a playmaker for the Tigers to Ben Moore. Moore away, took maybe one step too much and the kick was ordinary, but well played Nichols. He worked Orchard away and took the mark. Orchard's had a good start to this match, however. Nichols to the pocket, Hole on the target, good grab. It's a beautiful mark too, wasn't it? Under pressure, in short to Campbell. Oh no, not good, too far. Miranda held on to, play on called, off the ground into the goal square. Dunkley will have to get rid of it in a hurry, drops the ball. Not a good effort. Richardson kicks a goal. Well, the fans don't like it, but Dunkley froze a bit, to be truthful, and Sydney lead by 4 points.
Well, it's a game of mistakes, isn't it? This kick should have really hit the target, Wayne Campbell. Perhaps Miranda, clever play by Miranda just to push the ball forward again, and Dunkley had plenty of time to do more with that ball than what he did, and Richardson showing a lot of awareness and getting the ball quickly onto his boot.
Got 25 goals now for the season for Matthew Richardson, but he'll have to kick a few more of those if Richmond are to win this game. Away goes Broderick. Broderick from the centre, the short kick. Maybe he was looking there for Powell. Spills now out wide for Callaway. Run down there by Roos. Kick forward by Ben Holland, but only as far as Dunkley. You can see the goal square that Dunkley is defending just in the background. Away to Stevens. Stevens, maybe Dunkley just a little more confident in Stevens' kicking ability there. Out wide, Maxfield. He's between left half back and left centre wing. Kicks towards half forward. Good Mark Mooney. Got away this time from Scotty Turner. Then kicks into the pocket. Gee, Bays, he'd have gone a little bit harder. He could have nearly taken that mark, Mark Bays. Instead, letting it bounce and it went over for a throw-in.
How do you see it so far, Plugger?
Sorry?
How do you see the first quarter so far?
Yeah, it's been a very good game, I reckon, Bruce. Both sides are attacking the ball very hard, and I think it'll be the side that settles down the quickest and gets a couple of goals on the board before quarter time to take over the game from there.
Kelly at the fall of the ball right in front of the Swans goal, can't break away, and the umpire Chris Mitchell will bounce.
And Robbo, interesting, just before when the Richmond side took the ball into their forward line, Callaway tried to lead Roos away out of the hole, but Roos is staying in that corridor area, and that's making it difficult for the Richmond side when they go forward.
Chance for Bays again. He's got his second. Mark Bays, 2 goals, and the Swans lead by 10 points.
And that really is a soft goal. It's the second time tonight that we've seen the Sydney Swans score from a bounce down type situation. And really, when you're playing in defence, you've got to be on the goal side of your opponent. On that occasion, Burke really was just drifting along there. He was on the wrong side of Bays. He should have been on that defensive side of him and stopping him from taking a run at the ball.
Showed some real acceleration, Bays, didn't he, the 30-year-old there? So the Swans pinch a little break again. Kelly working it out. Daffy trying to pressure him. Little handballs to go. Does it well. Shannon Grant, normally a good kick. Inside, wants Lewis, front spot. Well done. Gale belts it away. Broderick couldn't get around in time. O'Loughlin, Burke couldn't take him out of it. O'Loughlin clever, pushing towards the pocket. Bays playing a good game of footy. Lewis coming through, ridden into the ground, taken by O'Loughlin. Should kick the goal. Will this be number 5? It is. Well, Plugger talked about it a moment ago. Timmy said the team that could get a couple before quarter time. We've still got 7 minutes to go, but the Swans are in the van now.
Well, there's some worrying signs there for Richmond at the moment. The Swans got the ball out of the centre, bounce, break again, and they just worked terribly hard here. Richmond put a bit of pressure on, but Swans just continually had the numbers there, and they were never going to allow the Tigers to take the ball cleanly out of defence.
Very good kick there by Michael O'Loughlin for the Swans' 5th goal. The bounce back at the centre, taken by Brendan Gale. Somehow got a right fist to it. Kicked away by Maxfield, gathered by Grant. Gives away a little ground. Orchard, run down by Daffy. Well done, Daffy. Persistence. Gee, that's nearly throwing the ball, isn't it? Throwing it away from himself. Could have been classified as a bounce, I guess, but the umpire giving him the benefit of the doubt and asking for a throw-in. What do you think of this, Tim?
Well, I think that the Tigers are going to have to make a change. Creswell's down there in the forward line at the moment. Charles came on, and now they're having to reshuffle their defence to cover him. Big
punch by Brendan Gale. Kicked away by Nix back towards the wing. Gathered by Bays. He's having an influence. His high kick will land close to the 50-metre line. In front there is Gasper. Gasper's kick down towards the wing will be marked by Powell.
He's a likely type, Powell, isn't he? His kick-in board's a good one. Into the centre. Kellaway quickly on to Broderick. Was on his wrong side. Good take, Turner, but he's got to break the tackle. Uses Gale wide. Can't get there. Mooney cuts it off. Chapman, beautiful hands. High tackle. He drew it beautifully, Chapman. Well played. On the left. Delivers to half forward. Bay stretching to get there. Maybe letting Mooney take it. Creswell, I should say. His handball missed its mark. Gale couldn't take it. A few mistakes. Cook's got beautiful hands. Rarely makes an error with his hands. Little ball inside. Bouncing ball hard for Creswell. Maxfield onto it. 55 metres out. Beautiful kick to Ruse. Look at that for vision. And how does he do it, Rusey? He has just drifted down there silently in the night and made some space, and Maxfield's vision was outstanding.
Well, Kellaway was drawn into the play. He went up the ground trying to tempt Ruse away from the defensive position, but he stayed back.
Steers it through, does the champ. Six goals to 2-2. What good buys Tony Lockett and Paul Ruse were for the Sydney Swans 3 seasons back.
Well, there's no doubt that at the moment Rodney Eade is winning the battle of the coaches, and the Richmond side has already been thrown around. We see Kellaway going back now to play a more customary type defensive role. He's on to Mark Bays, and at the moment the Richmond side trying to settle their forward line.
So the bounce back at the centre. Dipper, interesting start.
Yes, Robbo, look.
So Richmond trying to force it forward. There's a free kick being given away here. Dipper?
Yes, Robbo. We saw Justin Charles come on the ground a minute ago. The pressure down here is that Burke came off and did not go through the interchange bench, so Richmond might be a man short.
Well, that's interesting. They don't need that. This is Nix for the Swans. A very severe bump in Shepherd behind play. On the Swans full forward line, Kellaway pressured there by Dale Lewis. The kick is pretty good. Turner, quick hands to Powell. He's had half a dozen possessions. This is probably his 7th. He's at half back. Looks to run on. He's had a couple of bounces. Approaches the wing. Kicks the ball. It's a bit risky in towards centre half forward. No mark. The ball spills to the ground. Swooping on it is Harrison. Run down by Maxfield, and very well done. Had the momentum. Didn't give the free kick away. Nichols a bit high. No, says the umpire. Duck your head. Indicates umpire Mark McKenzie. Nichols looking for the free kick. Nothing happening. A bounce at centre half forward for Richmond.
So it's pretty close in the back, I think, against Maxfield on Harrison.
So the bounce and the ruckman to go at it. Charles, the 2 number 15s on this occasion, Charles and Stafford. The ball spills out wide. Ben Holland and Ruse. Back to Powell. Does well to evade Ruse. Back to Ben Holland. Short kick is all right, and Charles is marked. And you would have to suggest from Ben Moore's kick earlier in this quarter that Justin Charles is within scoring distance. They badly need an answering goal here, the Tigers. Swans have kicked the last 3 goals. Bit of a wobbly old kick, but it was effective in the finish. Very much a goal kicker, Justin Charles for Richmond. And he kicks from about 40 metres. And he does it very, very nicely. It's a goal to Richmond. Justin Charles kicks his first goal, and Richmond have their third on the scoreboard. They trail by 16 points.
Yes, and there's no doubt they needed this goal. Created by some clever play by Powell over near the boundary line, and some intelligent play by Holland to get the ball to Charles. And Richmond really are going to have to try and use the corridor of this ground. They've been pushed far too wide. They've got to attack the corridor and run the ball at the Swans' defence.
6 goals to 3-2. Back in the centre. Stafford winning it over the top. Quick kick by Ben Moore though to half forward. Roos at the back, playing as a sweeper, belts it away. High ball for Chapman. Over the top went Bond. Might have hurt himself, unfortunately. Carey back to Chapman. One bounce, Charles to run him down. Chapman's kick to half forward. Mooney, good take. Had 2 against him and his hands were fantastic, weren't they?
The ball was placed in the perfect position too.
Centering kick, Lewis, and cutting in Nix. Thought about going on, but ran straight into the Broderick and is coming back to have a shot for goal. They've done well centering the ball tonight, Sydney, haven't they, on that flank?
Well, there's no doubt about that, and you look at the scoreboard, they still haven't registered a behind. 6 goals, and the shots have come from crumbs and also in the sweet spot right in front of goal.
They've been very efficient, haven't they, out forward? Nick's a surprise packet really this year. It's a good angle and he's kicked it. He's been a quiet achiever. He's played in 9 games, including this evening, out of 12, and is making a name for himself with this team. Big crowd, big atmosphere, and a big start now for the Swans.
Gee, this is terrific by Mooney. I mean, he's a natural left footer, and he really does pump this into the proper position.
But what about the running from Nix? Nix is playing in the back line. He ran all the way down then just to create a target. A wonderful bit of play by him. Sometimes those players, they don't get rewarded.
7 goals to 3-2. Charles robbed of it by Chapman. He's been good around the midfield. The kick bounces at the feet of O'Loughlin, gathered here by Campbell, and then Daffy. Daffy's kick to half forward. Big leap, no mark. It was Ben Holland up high. Gasper actually couldn't take the mark. And Chris Bond looking anxiously at the umpire for a decision in his favour, but not forthcoming. It will be bounced. Right half forward for Richmond. David Burke, the player coming off the ground for Charles to get into the fray. Good knock forward there by Daffy, but only as far as Nix. High kick in towards the centre. Awkward bounce. Campbell missed it. Maxfield onto it. Quickly kicks it out wide. No one there for either side. It bounces. Still in the field of play, eventually over with Mooney and Turner. And it'll be thrown in just forward of centre wing, favouring the Swans.
And Gasper's now been sent down into the forward line, and he'll be opposed to Paul Roos.
Boundary throw in. Mooney goes to ground, probably looking for a free kick. Cook belted it forward, taken by Harrison for Richmond. Tigers needing a goal before quarter time. Harrison's kick was pretty good to centre wing. Sydney seem to have numbers all the time. Orchard's been lively early. His use of the hands has been excellent. Comes back to the centre. Have a look at this. Sydney all on their own. This is Grant. He can quickly give it to O'Loughlin if he likes, or straighten the body on the left foot. Will he take Campbell on? Decides not to. Goes to full forward. Too far for Creswell. Now Richmond have some numbers, but they're making a meal of it. Was it a high tackle? It was. Maybe lucky Richmond there. Going to ground Kellaway. And creating a high tackle. Just giving his noggin a bit of a... Well, he ducked in, and there's not much that Lewis could do about it. Ben Moore's got it at half-back.
Well, they've got the numbers here, the Tigers. They really should score a goal out of this. Going down the ground is Harrison after receiving from Prescott. His kick into the pocket, good mark. Tall player, Matthew Richardson, and out in front of Dunkley. He's marked about 55 metres from goal. Tight angle. Just lobs it in short. Roos is there. Couldn't quite get at it. Miranda dropped the ball. Bond, little toe poke, but Roos to mop up. Still a contest here for Richmond. Stevens and Dunkley for the Swans defending, and it's taken over for a throw-in. Just in, Richmond's attacking 50. They trail 3-2. The Swans are 7 straight.
And the Swans defenders prepared to drop off their man. They protect the central part of the forward line, and they're allowing their players, the Richmond opponents, to take the ball out wide if they want it.
Kicked away, but only as far as Daffy. Gee, that wasn't a mark, surely. Well, it's been paid. He can go into centre-half forward. Player on his own there is Ben Holland. Gets it away to Matthew Richardson off his left foot. He snaps it, goal. It goes long, but offline, just to the right, and through for Richmond's third behind. They're 3-3-21. They trail Sydney, who are 7 goals straight, 42. The margin is 21 points in favour of the Swans as Seymour kicks in, and it's effective. It is with Shannon Grant.
Coming wide. Mooney a target, and why not? He's been doing well up forward. Ben Moore at the bottom, roving it, hooks it round the body. Nick should get back. Had a feel for it. Taken cleverly by Grant. Getting better and better. Kicks to centre wing. Creswell, well done. Maxfield, Richardson up the ground a bit. Maxfield to take him on, and the siren sounds for the end of a very entertaining opening quarter. Sydney having the best of it. Richmond doing all right in the fact that they kicked 3 goals and had a few shots for goal, but Sydney was so efficient in going forward that they didn't miss in 7, and they've actually doubled their score. It's 42-21. Talking to the interchange steward there. So drama here. Start of the second quarter, Friday night football. Richmond, we believe, down to just 20 men, with one fit man, David Burke, unable to go back on. Creswell's kick around the body, out wide, looking for Mooney. With him Turner, who's up the ground a bit. Mooney's handball in board is excellent to Kelly. Kelly's handball over the top, okay to Chapman. Chapman on his left side, centres the ball. Cook with pace, bouncing ball. Gasper with him. Can Gasper force it over? He does, and out of play. But Sydney quickly into attack, and threatening already.
And it's fascinating, this Paul Roos saga continues. Wayne Campbell is now picking up Paul Roos.
He's had 4 different opponents, Roos, and most of them playing as defenders at centre-half forward. Roos, 33 years of age, almost 34. Boundary throw in Bays, well done, but Broderick stole it from him. Creswell onto him. Cook with Gasper. Was that out on the fall? It came off Cook's boot. Richmond free kick. Tigers needing the first goal of this second quarter. They're not out of this. They managed 6 scoring shots in the opening term. We saw their spirit last week. Now Powell's run out of room, but not ideas, and finds Gale. Well done. Gale in the back pocket. Remember, Sydney hasn't been beaten here since round 2 last year. 14 wins and 1 draw. Creswell, well done. Maxwell too slow, but got it to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin made a meal of it. Still got it beautifully done. Broderick, there's some clever stuff going on here. Broderick ducks and wins the free kick, and it's Richmond at centre-half back.
Well, he'll get onto his favoured left side and kick it out wide, but only as far there as Nix across the half-back line. Kicked a goal for the Swans in the first quarter. Waits the kick quite nicely for Cook. Cook gives the hand pass. Great hands by Nix. Nix in towards full forward, but Gale is there. That's Gale Michael. Hand passes wide to Gasper. Gasper in turn to Callaway. Callaway will have to go in the direction maybe of Richardson. No, he's going to hang on to it, and then kicks a terrible punt kick straight to Nix.
It's the second time they've kicked the ball away going forward in this quarter.
So the pressure on the Richmond players forcing the errors. Cook, he's got a player in support, and it is Lewis. Lewis, his first real possession in the game, Dale Lewis, in towards half forward, punched away there from Mooney. Kick forward, the Swans will get a goal here. Surely no. Creswell couldn't quite get onto that football before it bounces through for their first blemish on the scoreboard so far in this match. A behind. Kick by Paul Kelly. A scrambling kick at that. And Turner to kick it back in for the Tigers. 7-1 plays 3-3. The margin 22 points in favour of the Swans.
Turner keeping it low. Good kick to Gasper. Found him almost at 50. Gasper on to Gale. Stafford to come in. Mark paid, over the shoulder actually, to Bond. Bond quickly on to Kellaway. Kellaway at centre wing. Handball to Richardson, a long way from home. One bounce, trying to draw somebody. Still Richardson. Carey with him. Richardson's handball in board. Very slow to get to Kellaway. Put enormous pressure on him. Kelly mopped up to Carey. Carey can go in short to Stafford. Gets a reasonable bounce. So clever Stafford. Breaks away. Kicks the ball beautifully to Creswell. On to Grant. This will be sensational. Brilliant stuff, Swans. It's stirring footy when they run the ground like that. The mistake, admittedly, Richardson's handball to Kellaway took forever.
Well, they just chose the wrong option again, the Tigers. They're allowing themselves to get pushed wider and wider and wider in the search for space when they go forward. And they've got to be a bit braver in their forward thrust. They've got to chip the ball back into the central corridor, open up the field, create some options when they go forward. The space will be there for them if they do head in that direction.
Just the 5th goal for Shannon Grant in season 1997. The bounce at the centre favours Cresswell. He'll get it onto his right foot very quickly towards half forward, but a good mark taken by Gaspar from behind Mooney. Now the player on the mark has run over the mark, has he? Apparently he was being asked to come back. He's having a nice old blue there with Scott McLaren, and it will go back to the player who took the mark, Gaspar, and the player will be brought back that 50 metres. He goes out wide, really not all that direct. It's gone very, very wide. It'll just about bounce out of bounds on centre wing. So practically went straight across the ground. And a boundary throw in, Nick Daffy in picture. Michael O'Loughlin for the Swans, and Charles to contest the boundary throw in with Cresswell. The height advantages with Charles. He gets it down to Broderick. In turn, Kellaway. Wider still for Daffy. Daffy's left foot kick towards centre half forward. Look, the Swans seem to have about 8 extra players on the ground. Terrific football. Kelly, the advantage was nearly with the Swans, but then the umpire assessing that it wasn't really to any advantage for the Swans, it comes back to Roos.
Good play by Stafford there. He realised it was going to be a hard ball and he didn't work too hard, knowing the ball had come back for Roos. So Roos short to Stafford at half back. Lopes away and then kicks it about 45-50 metres. Dale, Lewis and Mooney. Well done, Michael Gale. Lewis leaving it for Mooney. Michael Gale quickly on. Now Richmond should sting here. They've got a bit of momentum going forward. Gale to Harrison. Harrison to the pocket. Good kick. But Richardson there, and with him
Stafford on that occasion, although Carey has now picked up Richardson.
So boundary thrown about 50 metres away from Richmond's goal. They need one. They trail 21 to 49. Kelly being held onto, belts the ball forward. Powell in trouble. Well done, Kelly. Gale and Kelly. Kelly onto him. Gale's handball came off Harrison. Paul Kelly. Persistence here. 150 metres for the Swans. Out of play.
Gee, 2 hard goers there. Paul Kelly and Michael Gale, nearly confronting each other.
There's no doubt about that. But that handball should have been a bit softer.
Robert Walls was asked also during the week about the centre square. How important were they, the short ground at the SCG?
It's very important at the SCG that you win the centre clearances, and our players are mindful of that, and we've looked at a lot of video and we've talked about it. Now we've got to put it into practice.
Well, while Robert Walls was telling us all about that, Richmond have got the ball up to their full forward line, nearly kicked forward by Ben Holland. They had 2 or 3 goes and then an own goal to Matthew Nicks, which results in a behind. If you can understand that, the Swans player kicking it through for a rush behind to Richmond. And their score is now 3-4 against it. Swans have kicked 8-1. Terrific kicking. They've just had the ball in the middle of the ground, the Swans. Seymour with the footy. Goes back to Stevens from whence it came, and he's able to play on. Looks for the hand pass. You're in all sorts of trouble. Stewie Maxfield got it away to Seymour. Good support provided by that player. To half forward, it'll rebound. Well done. The knockout by Brendan Gale. The Kellaway kick off the ground. They've just forced it into the middle again. Here's Bayes. Can he get his third? The kick was smothered by Bond off the boot, and it'll go out of bounds for a throw in left forward pocket for Sydney. 8-1 plays 3-4. And Mark Bayes nearly swooping on the opportunity for his 3rd goal.
Well, they say men die of fear and live of confidence, and that bit of play then by Seymour, just running to assist, was the reason why they had the ball in their attacking zone so quickly, the Swans.
Free kick is it to Broderick? No, still with Bayes. Everybody has stopped. Centre the ball. Oh, what a great effort by Mooney. Comes back to Chapman. He's kicked a goal out of nothing. Seemed that everybody had stopped him, listening to what you had to say about Seymour, and then Bayes decided to kick the ball inside, and Chapman ended up getting the goal.
Well, my wise old coach Kevin Sheedy used to say, play the game right out. And on that occasion, Bays did. The Richmond defenders stopped. Mark Bosnich would have been happy with that catch then by Jason Mooney, and another goal to the Swans, and the Tigers really are going to have to tighten up, and now.
9-3, Sydney on fire here. Chapman with a couple of goals. Robert Walsh told us about the centre squares a moment ago. Just see who wins it here. Creswell, Cook. Cook couldn't quite get an effective kick. Laugh, he'll be hungry for the footy to Creswell. Creswell chips to half forward. Kelly the target. Prescott with him. Prescott, who did such a good job on Buckley last week. Kelly goes for it, brings it back as a goal. Sensational for Kelly. Plugger, can you hear me? And if you can, what do you think about Kelly?
Wasn't that a magnificent goal, Bruce? What a fantastic effort. The mark was spoiled. His second effort, like as Kel always does, was enormous, and he's just slotted a goal from, 45, 50 metres out on the run. Just so inspirational, and look, the boys are really fired up now, and they're going great guns.
His recovery on that occasion, Plugger, was just magnificent, wasn't it?
Well, he's known for his second and his third and his fourth efforts, and it just epitomises the bloke. What a great effort, and great captain's goal.
He must be a great inspiration.
He is a great inspiration, and what a fantastic footballer.
Well, it's getting out of reach of Richmond now. 10-1 to 3-4. 7 goals. Gasper across half-back. Out wide, Callaway. No one really to kick to. He's got to kick to nearly a one-on-one again. Richardson out in front there of Carey. Carey giving away the free kick. A push in the back, according to the umpire. Carey looking just a little anxiously. Miranda prepares to come back onto the ground.
Centre bounce breaks at 10-5 in favour of the Sydney Swans. So the pressure going straight on the Richmond defence.
Well, they look about as confused as David Burke must have been when he came off the ground, being replaced in the first quarter. Got Gasper in strife. Gang tackling. Cook. O'Loughlin. Out wide. Maxfield. Oh, it's just off. Working for the Swans. This will be Bays' third goal. No, it won't. He's hooked the kick off to the right.
But Robbo, they just ran out of complete ideas and room, didn't they, in the centre of the square? Richmond, they're totally confused at the moment.
They're totally confused, and I think this ground can be confusing for sides.
Charles off the ground, Miranda on. Across full-back Campbell. Handball to Michael Gale. Michael Gale to Callaway. They get about this far, and then it just breaks down. Prescott is going to have to kick it high into a one-on-one again, and Seymour just, well, quite straightforward. He's given away a free kick. Didn't look as though there was much in it to me. But Seymour infringing against Miranda. Miranda with the free kick in the right forward pocket.
In the back. Hand on the jumper, Robbo.
So Miranda, he's kicked 1 goal. Scoreboard not looking good for the Tides. Miranda from about 45 kicks it high into the square. Richardson in front, should be paid the mark, and is right in the goal square. Matthew Richardson has kicked 1 goal. And has now kicked his second, and Richmond have got their 4th on the scoreboard.
And it's an understatement to say they needed a goal, the Tigers. In fact, when that ball was kicked from Callaway, there was 15 Swans players in the 50-metre arc. And what we've seen them do so many times tonight is get possession in the back half and they move the ball forward. They're prepared to run, they're prepared to chase, they're prepared to tackle, and it really has upset the Richmond side to this point. Matthew Richardson will probably have to kick 10 goals for the Richmond side to get anywhere near the Swans tonight.
It's good effort with Carey, Roos and Dunkley against you in the goal square and able to take a mark.
Well, he really is their trump card tonight, Matthew Richardson.
10-2 to 4-4. Back in the centre. Tim told us a moment ago, 10-5, the Swans out of the centre tonight. Gale versus Stafford. Bounce giving Stafford the run, belts it to centre half forward. Grant tries to get onto it. Taken by Mooney to Maxfield. They just find their man every time. Maxfield from 60 metres. Look at this for a long one. It's a behind, but boy, it covered some ground. But wouldn't he like to kick a couple against his old team? He was in that inspirational year, wasn't he, a couple of years ago when Richmond were really firing under John Northey. I remember him kicking a goal at the MCG against Essendon in a classic game on a Friday night we're involved with. Short to Harrison from Turner. Harrison wide to Bond. Bond at half-back away.
Bond just assessing, trying to get something moving along the wing. At the back, Chaffee now onto the ground. He's got a chance to gather here. Handball over the top. Should have been to Miranda. He bombs away in the direction of Richardson. But the ball falls to the front. Richardson away to Brendan Gale. Snapshot by Brendan Gale. Looks pretty good. No, just offline. Bad luck for the Tigers. That goal there may have given them some impetus. But Brendan Gale missing to the left.
Good crumbing then by Richardson. Not only providing some marking power, also some crumbing power. A good first give then to Benny Gale too.
Kick in, finds Shannon Grant. He goes out wide. Ben Holland on Carey. Carey gets back and really makes a good contest with Callaway. Callaway, a real groveler, not able to win the ball, but Daffy is. Daffy's kick across his left shoulder is all right. And down, crunched, was Nichols. And he's been penalised, Orchard, for a push-out. So Nichols with the kick. He's on centre wing. Good kick of the football. Lands the ball at centre-half forward. It clears the players in that area. Nix gets it to Cresswell. The Swans will come bouncing down the ground now. This is Stevens. He kicks out towards half-forward. Bayes just tried to knock it to the advantage there, back in towards the corridor. Harrison in short. And the mark is taken here by Chaffee. Quickly on and finds Miranda.
Between centre wing and half forward, Miranda. High ball, wanting a big grab from a Holland or a Richardson. Swans with numbers. At the back, Dunkley, Cook. Broderick onto him. Dunkley over the ball, belts it out again. Swans with numbers. Grant tackle, good one. Chance here. Picked up by Nichols, normally a good finisher. He's got it. Well done, Tigers. Just worried the Swans out of it. Sydney had a couple of chances. And the last 2 or 3 minutes, we've just seen a little bit of a mini comeback here from Richmond with a couple of goals.
Good forward line pressure then from the Tigers, and Powell, who put that tackle on the Swans player on that occasion, which enabled the ball to run free. We'll just see it here in a moment. A good bit of play on Grant. Grant not being able to get the ball clear, and Nichols, who's been a good finisher and a good goal kicker for the Tigers, finishing it off on that occasion.
Well, statistics are pretty well line ball, but most importantly now Richmond getting the ball away from the centre on this occasion, and a free kick will go to Moore. He did clear the centre.
It's around the neck.
Unceremoniously dumped as he did so, and the ball will come back to the Richmond player. He kicks towards left half forward, looking for Richardson. Up high, couldn't take the mark. The ball spills. Chaffee. He's had 3 possessions which have been important. Harrison's kick to the goal front. Big punch, but only goes as far as Moore. If he can kick this, the Tigers will get something moving to the goal square. Oh, it's been kicked by Powell for a goal. Very, very quick thinking there by Robert Powell. Gets the 6th goal for Richmond and talk about a mini fight back. It's a Tiger fight back at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Yes, there's no coincidence they've had the ball out of the centre the last 2 occasions. More getting the ball in the boot. Just watch this, because it did appear to come off a Swans player's leg. Well, no, terrific play then by Powell. He's been a live wire tonight. He's had plenty of the ball, and he's got some genuine pace. A player who is able to run through the lines.
Wayne Campbell pointing something out to the umpire, so well done Richmond. 3 goals in about 4 minutes, back in business as Prescott goes to centre half forward, charging towards goal. Richardson front spot, Holland at the back, and he give the little one to Nichols. Missed his body, pick up there by Powell. Well done by Stevens at the back, and Dunkley it was in the end. Getting it to Chapman. Chapman at half back, trying to draw somebody. Sydney wanting to create that loose man situation. Didn't go to Kelly, goes longer to Bayes, and Gasper, little push. Umpire perfectly placed. Bayes free kick. Richmond trying to block up the spaces and that free man that Sydney seems to have, and they've done it reasonably effectively since that Kelly goal. The high point probably of the match for Sydney. Lewis back on the ground, was on the interchange for a bit. He's got Cook to provide a shepherd. Lewis normally a good kick. That's beautiful. Round the body. That's a good goal.
Oh, it's too simple.
He's a terrific finisher. 3 times this year he's kicked 4 goals. Plugger, just the steadier I think Sydney needed before half-time.
Yes, and good bit of coaching then from Rodney Eade. He took Dale Lewis off the field because he'd been well held by Michael Gale. Michael Gale had shut him right down, and then he brings him back on. And Lewis, who's just one of those very clever players who just knows how to get to where the ball is, picking it up and snapping, and just a steadying one for the Swans.
So the bounce back at the centre, Brendan Gale and Stafford. Prescott held, didn't have the footy, but he goes after it again. Good little hand pass to Bond, back to Prescott, across the ground, important possession here to Daffy, and he takes the mark. He plays on quickly, kicks it out wide, out in front there of Matthew Richardson, who marks on his chest. He looks to play on and get the ball to within scoring distance for Richmond. It will land at centre-half forward. Ben Holland, beaten for it by Orchard. Miranda, it's in under there somewhere. A real scramble there for possession, and the umpire will be forced to bounce about 35 metres out from the Richmond goal. And now it's going to be a free kick to Miranda. An indiscretion there, maybe against Seymour. Well, the football was under there and no one was prepared to allow the footy to come out. And an indiscretion against Miranda will give Richmond the chance to get their 7th goal. Roos is not happy. Well, you see the replay of the incident. There really didn't look to be much in it. But it will be a free shot at goal for Mark Miranda. He's kicked one, and I think he's missed. So that's a bad miss, and the Swans fans behind the goals down there are really letting the umpire know all about it. Don't think they were very happy with the decision in the first place, and basically the Tigers got their just desserts. So Seymour, who may have been the infringing player in that circumstance, will kick in for the Swans. 6 goals 6 to 11 goals 3. You get a bit of a look there at what Seymour has in front of him. The kick in really has advantaged the Tigers. Prescott couldn't break away, but the Swans can. Stafford across towards centre-half forward. The ball spills to the back. Callaway on Kelly. Handball. They've got a player in support. Daffy goes back to Michael Gale. That player eventually will get it, but it's taken a little while to get to him, Nichols. The kick into the pocket is all right, and the mark should be taken by Brendan Gale, and is. 55 metres from goal is Brendan Gale. Goes in short, and it's going to be messed up. Chapman over the top, O'Loughlin bounces nicely for him, tackled Michael Gale. Maxfield nearly run down by Powell. Maxfield kick to the goal face. Turner gives away a bit of ground. Broderick getting back to defend. Waits the kick quite nicely. Will it bounce for Chaffee? It won't. It'll be taken by Cook. The handball too fierce for Nix. Back goes Cook for a second chance. Left foot kick. He throws it onto his boot. Lands at half forward. Michael Gale tries to punch from Cresswell. He's beaten for it by Broderick, and Broderick kicks it away back towards the centre.
Dunkley onto it. He'll have to kick now. Doesn't quite get to his man, so Gale cut it off on Lewis, and now Richmond can attack. Daffy's got Miranda short. Richardson's the way to kick it. Goes to him now with a kick out wide, and Richardson in the pocket. Will he take Stafford on? Decides not to, and kicks it out of bounds on the full. That is so wasteful.
Watching them. But when Nick Daffy grabbed hold of that ball on that occasion, his first thing he did was actually bounce the ball. What you should be doing is you should be running the first 10 metres, looking up what's downfield. He bounced the ball. He should have been able to give the ball off a lot quicker to Richardson, and Richardson wouldn't have been so wide when he was, in fact,
he was out of play by the look of it.
Had the ball kicked to him.
So it's coming right back. Just a quickie plugger. Richmond seem to be back in this, though.
Yeah, they do, Bruce. They've got 3 quick goals there. A great mark by Matthew Richardson, and they're certainly back in this game. Dale Lewis coming back off the bench certainly had something to prove, and he got in the action very quickly and snapped a beautiful goal. So
the next few minutes will be important here. About 6 minutes to half time.
Yeah, very important. You know, it's I think Richmond settled a little bit quicker in that quarter, but certainly if either side could get a couple of goals, it'll be very important for either side just before half time.
So that's the situation. 50 metres from the boundary line. Tony Lockett working the boundary along with the Big Dipper tonight.
14 free kicks to 6 in favour of Richmond.
Stafford winning a tap. Arnott's on the ground for the Swans. Roos, quick kick, finds Arnott. Arnott inside. Maxfield needs to get a handle on it. Did it very well, actually. Kick towards Kelly within Kellaway. Kelly's defence was terrific there. Gasper's got it. Took a while. He only saw a couple of Swans, so he didn't have far to go. Now Arnott's got it 60 metres from goal.
Arnott quickly into the play. Kicks in towards centre forward. Cook swoops on it. and is marked. And again, you would think within scoring distance. He's going to go short. Lewis, and certainly Dale Lewis will kick the distance. He's only 40 metres out, maybe a little closer. Pretty well straight in front.
And that's smart coaching, isn't it? To take someone off who has been well held, and for the player to accept it too. He went to the boundary, had a couple of minutes to think about it. Now Dale Lewis is back on. He's got his chance to kick his second goal this quarter. Michael Gale did a terrific job on him early.
Dale Lewis, lazy looking kick, but it clears the pack. It's a goal. Second goal to Dale Lewis, and importantly for the Swans, probably a steadier in these circumstances. They're 12-3 and they lead Richmond to a 6-6.
And that kick almost symbolic of the way Dale Lewis plays football. It just did all it had to do to get over the goal line. He's a terrifically talented player. In fact, he's probably been one of the best players in the competition at the halfway mark of the season. We see Nick Daffy lining up him at the moment.
Couple of changes for Sydney. Leo Barry on, Luff's come on, Stafford's having a rest, back in the centre. Good break still to the Swans. Richmond need a couple before half-time. Lewis with 2 goals in the second quarter. Well played. John Stevens belts his way through, then a wobbly old kick to half-forward. Chapman and Bond brings it to the ground. Gasper scooped it up. Kellaway, Broderick at centre-half back. Good kick into Gale in the centre. Gale can come away. Wanted to give it to Campbell. In trouble. Got away from Roos. He's gone now, holding the footy. He knew he was in trouble when he ducked his head on Luff, and the advantage is given, and Stevens comes away. Floats a bad kick. That's probably the bad part of Stevens' game, actually. He's not a good kick. Belting it away, the Richmond defence, and out of play. Dipper.
Yeah, we see Greg Stafford come off the ground, Bruce. He's just having his contact lenses replaced. Pretty important in a night game, Bruce. Hey.
Thanks for that, Dip.
Gee, the footy very, very hot around the middle of the ground when Richmond are trying to go forward. The tackling by the Swans, dispossessing and giving them the chance to go forward, has been fantastic. Brendan Gale down to Powell. Powell quickly out towards the wing. Ben Moore, well done. Gets it away to Kellaway. Kellaway, can he do it something with it? He can. He puts it to Matthew Richardson. Looks to kick it on quickly. Now he goes short. Not too bad. It just may come off. The kick wasn't as accurate as it could have been. Harrison run down by Orchard, but gets his left foot to it and hits the post. No luck for the Tigers. Ben Harrison, he registers his first score for the game. 6-7. They trail Sydney 12-3. Margin 32 points. It's a very, very healthy advantage for the Swans. And Dale Lewis, who kicked the goal just a moment ago, is down defending and will kick it back into play for the Swans.
Once again, a kick not hitting its target and a player losing time.
Lewis goes long and is successful, finds Dunkley, who is the fullback, the regular fullback. Orchard on to Cook. Cook to assess, deliver, and deliver very well. That just was precision footy by the Swans, and Mooney will have a safe shot at goal.
This kick beautifully weighted and placed.
Mooney for the Swans' 13th goal, and he makes no mistake. His first goal, the Swans' magnificent kicking, 13-3, and it's all because they've been in that position in front of goals, which just sets it up for simple shots.
And it really is a new feature of our game, isn't it? The ball being kicked out. Lewis, the designated kicker, a wonderful kick to his Swans teammate, and the ball just moved down the ground. And it's one time when you do catch the opposition off guard because the players aren't picking up their men. They're either playing a zone or they're surrounding a huddle on that occasion.
Sydney stretch it out again. They've responded to Richmond's resurgence. Tigers kicked 3 in a row. Now Sydney have kicked the last 3. Cook out of the centre, getting a few touches. Such an exciting player. Mooney tried to belt the ball back in. Scooped up by Luff cleverly. Creswell's kick is a good one to Stevens. Cook pushed out, but Stevens has got it. I said a moment ago he wasn't a particularly good kick. There's Matthew Knights, David Burke-Knights itching to come on. The Richmond skipper hasn't played a league game this year, injured in the Answer Cup series. Now, John Stevens, who we've all admired with his medical problems, making it into league footy at 25. Well, he's a great kick, isn't he? Well done. Just sometimes on the run, I reckon he makes a bit of a mess of it, but not then. 14 goals, 3 to 6-7. So Sydney has responded superbly here. Plugger, if you're listening, just to Troy Cook for a moment. What's he brought to the club? He's been so exciting to watch.
Oh, he's been fantastic. Well, he's only a young kid from Perth, and like his form the last couple of weeks has been sensational. And like he's a great player now. Imagine what he's going to be like in a couple of years' time, Bruce.
Yeah, he's a beauty, no doubt about that.
He's had 15 possessions so far in the game, and Stevens has had 11. Richmond will get clear of the centre. It's Powell ducking and weaving and gets around onto his left foot. May nearly kick a goal here, Robert Powell. He gets onto it, kicks it right to the line. Holland, Ben Moore, still a chance is Moore. Nichols, number 26, couldn't swoop on it, and eventually the umpire finds a free kick here. It's going to Richmond for a high tackle.
And Robbo, once again, a centre bounce break going to Richmond and looking dangerous straight away. And on that occasion, Ben Holland really should have knocked the ball out a lot softer than what he did. He really belted the ball at the feet of his Richmond teammate. Made it terribly difficult for him to pick it up. It should have just been a nice soft give.
Well, it's Ben Moore who's got the football, and he's kicking from only 12 metres out. The angle, not too bad, and he puts it through for Richmond's 7th goal. Ben Moore kicks his first, and another free kick that the Swans fans weren't too happy about, but Richmond badly needing a goal, and they got it through Ben Moore.
Yeah, there didn't look to be too much in that free kick. Isolated, I suppose you could say that it was above the shoulders, but in the context of the way this game's been played and umpired to this point, you'd have to say that it was fairly doubtful.
So Luff doing the ruck work against Gale. Gale an enormous advantage in height here. You'd feel inexperienced in the ruck, and takes advantage of that and kicks the ball to centre half forward. Charles worked underneath the ball by Seymour. What a great player he is. Lewis's handball was terrific to Maxfield. Can go on to Luff. Luff's got a panic. They should use it. They rarely waste it. Goes inside, wants Barry. It was a hard kick. O'Loughlin beautifully done. Uses Cook. That's super footy, Swans.
Well, that's as good a passage as play we've seen this year.
Oh, they're just so good to watch, this team.
Slick and clean, wasn't it?
15 goals to 7. They've got all the answers.
Well, you look at the possessions, and Sydney have had 105 kicks, 53 handballs. Richmond have had 107 kicks, 51 handballs. So they've had exactly the same amount of ball, but it's just the efficiency with the way the Sydney Swans use the ball when they get it. And they're quite prepared to, at the moment, to concede the centre bounces, but Troy Luff will be a far better running player for them than probably what Benny Gale will be for the Richmond side around the ground.
Just fantastic footy then by the Swans for their 15th goal. And the bounce at the centre, Harrison. Cook was in the action again. Kelly tried to get it back to him. Under pressure, Broderick. Kick forward by Cresswell. Michael Gale a chance. He left him not clear of half back. Trying to get onto it as Barry. Can't control the footy. And it'll be thrown in at right half forward for the Swans. The big chant coming out. Sydney, Sydney, Sydney. They've got a lot of fans here in the Harbour City now of the Swans. And they're really showing us some fantastic football tonight. 15 goals, 3. Great shooting for goal, made ever so easy by getting it in towards the front. Cook tries to get onto it again. He's had 16 possessions and kicked a goal.
Hasn't he had dramatic improvement in his game? We saw him play here a number of Fridays ago against Melbourne. That was his first AFL game, and since then he's just seemed to have improved with each match. He was a bid player, now he's a very important midfielder for us. We see Paul Kelly being told to leave the field because of the blood rule.
It's an absolute...
And he almost went over the wrong line too.
Well, there must be some confusion down there as to where the lines are marked.
Such an impact player, isn't he, Cook?
Cook, there's no doubt about that.
Cresswell's had 14 possessions. He's been pretty good. Maxfield 11. And they're always with penetration. You can see the whack that Paul Kelly's had over his right eye as the boundary umpire throws it in. A high kick there by Powell, not clear there by Brendan Gale. And the boundary umpire will throw it in once again. Paul Kelly being attended to. He probably won't take any further part because there's only a few seconds left in the first half of this game between the Swans and the Tigers. Both with 5 wins before tonight. So a crucial game 4 points going to, well, at this stage it looks like the Swans. Cook tries to get it away. Nichols not able to get through. Harrison was. Broderick, weighted kick, does work, and Miranda's on the end of it. And he'll shoot for goal in the dying seconds of the first half. Mark Miranda, the opportunity to bring up his second goal and maybe for Richmond their 8th. Siren has sounded. So at half-time you will see the Swans with 15 goals, 393. That is a magnificent scoreline. 18 scoring shots, 15 goals. Great conversion. But we're watching Miranda. A high kick. It will miss to the left. Through for his second behind. And no joy there for Richmond right on half-time. Miranda's miss will take the Tigers' score to 7 goals, 8, which is 50. They trail by 43 points. The Swans 15-3-93. And have they got some goal kickers?
Field, Bruce.
Important there for the Tigers. They're kept them back. Let's hope they can lift to make a real contest. 15-3 to 7-8. The Swans were sensational in the opening half. Richmond through power, good effort to fall forward, but with numbers, as they often do. And Nix, who's been impressive, takes the mark. Is it 50? No. Orchard away. Well, hugging the line and just out, floating out on the full. Stafford just questioning whether or not the boundary umpire saw it right, but Powell kicks inside to Broderick. Cook tried to cut it off. Daffy and Harrison. Harrison's quick kick around the body straight to Roos. So often Sydney in the right spot at the right time. What a magnificent career Roos has had. 5 times the best and fairest at Fitzroy. Captain of Victoria on a number of occasions. Kicks the ball to centre wing. O'Loughlin's got to Kellaway. Back to Kellaway. Kellaway ran into his own man in Chaffey, but that's Knight's first kick for the season. It's a good one to Harrison. Harrison into the centre. They had numbers in the end, and good take by Gale.
It's a big risk though, isn't it? If they lose possession there, the Swans go bang and they're within scoring distance. But fortunately for Richmond, gee, that was a good kick by Brendan Gale. Broderick at the back.
Sorry, Robbo, that was just a sensational kick. It had to hit its target. But once again, the Swans guarding the corridor. There was 5 Swans players in the central part of the Tigers' forward line when that ball came in, and they just pushed Richmond wide. But still a kickable distances for Broderick.
Does it sound an obvious question if they've got 5 congregating, where are the 5 Richmond players?
Well, that is an obvious question, but obviously Richmond don't want to clog up their own forward line.
Fair enough. Broderick.
I think you've got to send players down there.
Will kick from 40 metres. Slight angle. Well, it's a disappointing kick, I think, by Paul Broderick's standards. He usually can convert in those circumstances, but misses to the right. So the start of the third quarter, not all that much to smile about for the Richmond fans. Just a behind coming from that attack. The kick by Seymour nearly lands with the Tigers. It does eventually. This is Brendan Gale. Little left foot kick across the line, and Michael Gale has the football. He's at left half forward. Being called to play on, goes short. Well, they're keeping possession of the ball, but they're not really getting anything as far as a real good shot at goal is concerned. Campbell's kick into the pocket. Looks for Ben Holland. Couldn't mark. Daffy throws it onto his boot. Nearly the mark to Nichols, but it'll be mopped up by Cook. He's an exciting player. Away to Roos. Roos across the line, Grant. Roos again, threw it away, but he's allowed to go on with the play. Back to Cook. Cook, good vision of a Maxfield. Maxfield on the wing. Good shepherd provided by O'Loughlin. Gives Maxfield a bit of space to take 2 bounces, then kicks towards full forward. It covers the players. Michael Gale, you're gone. Bays has got you. And he's going to be rewarded with a free kick. Well, Michael Gale not really sensing the urgency there, and cleaned up efficiently by Bays.
Perfect tackle then by Bays too. He didn't get into the back of Gale. He just pivoted around on his left foot.
Well, he's been pretty good, Bays. He could have kicked 3. He missed one in the second turn, and he's now kicked his 3rd goal. The Swans go marching on. They've kicked 16 goals, 3, which really is good goal shooting. Richmond, on the other hand, 7-9.
And once again, that goal being set up after they took control of the ball across half-back. The Swans. Richmond had the ball in their 50-metre arc 4 times, unable to score. The Swans take it down for the first time and set up that play. The players just prepared to run and work hard for the Sydney Swans.
A chant for the Swans around the ground. So Bays with his 3, having a big match. He's been running into form. The centre square infringement. Swans free kick. Stafford's got it. Dipper told us he changed his contact lens in the second quarter. Kick till half forward. Kellaway getting back. That's a good mark. Michael Gale quickly on this time. Handball to Daffy. Daffy away from half-back. Hasn't kicked a goal in 3 weeks, Nick Daffy. That's what he's normally there for, but he's played up the ground a fair bit today. Charles, they're just missing their target a little bit, Richmond, putting themselves under pressure. That's better. Bond had to go wide, though, to Broderick. Broderick to centre half forward. Dunkley there. Richardson came from the back. Holland in the front, claiming a free kick. Nothing happening. A bounce about 30 metres from Richmond's goal. They're trailing badly now, 7-9 to 16-3. 8-goal margin.
Sorry, Bruce, I don't want to be too critical of Nick Daffy, but once again he grabbed hold of the ball, and the first thing he did was actually bounce the ball, which means that he's not concentrating on what's up the field.
Charles there with Stafford, both had a miss. Now Daffy getting it back from Harrison. Good kick, and Campbell's taken a terrific mark about a metre from goal, and surely will go back and kick the 8th goal for the Tigers. Was excellent in defence last week against Collingwood, Campbell.
That was the best game I've seen him play for a long time, Wayne Campbell.
And from the heart of the set, the square kicks the goal. So Campbell gets his first for the night. Richmond go to 8, and the margin back to 7 goals, 16-3 to 8-9.
And good to see the Tigers dropping Campbell off Roos. Those two players really negated each other in terms of stats in that second quarter. They both only had 2 stats. Richmond have to win this game. They have to attack the game, and they've got to get their best and most attacking players and midfield engine room players where the ball is, and Campbell's certainly one of those players.
Welcome back, 16-3, 8-9, Dipper on the boundary.
Bruce, there's an argument down here. We just saw Michael Lachlan come off the ground. He did not go over the interchange line once again, so maybe he is off the ground for the rest of the game.
Well, I just wonder why they're making that mistake tonight if there's been no change in the markings. We haven't seen it before in Sydney.
Oh. Matthew Knights, before that ball was bounced on the edge of the square, was really having a dust-up with Shannon Grant. He looks as though he's trying to cause a bit of aggro. Now he's given a free kick away. Dipper.
It's official that Michael Lachlan is not allowed back on the ground.
Well, you couldn't believe this, could you? Modern-day footballers making mistakes like that. Grant with the footy in towards left half forward. Awkward bounce for Bond and Chapman. Bond somehow just hacked it out of mid-air, and fortunately for Richmond it lands with Chaffee. Chaffee, who was pretty good when he came onto the ground, he kicks across the half-back line. Oh, important position here. Well done, Stafford. Gee, just provided a terrific contest. Bays again across the line. Cresswell, did it travel far enough? It did, according to the umpire. And Cresswell has the footy 50 metres from goal.
Well, look, we've never seen this interchange fast before. Obviously, there's something wrong with the markings on the ground.
Plugger, just quickly, I don't know if you can hear me. Are you there, Plugger?
Yes, Bruce.
Is there any change in this interchange situation?
No, I'm not too sure, Bruce. The only thing I can pick out is the interchange isn't marked. It's not a very long line. Maybe that line should protrude right out onto the ground so the players can obviously see it when they're running off. But I mean, that's a shame to have 2 great players in Burke and O'Loughlin not being able to take any further part of the game. It's a shame, isn't it?
Look, Lewis has got the footy, Tony, but looking from up here, there are 2 squares just distinctly painted on the ground between the fence and the boundary line, and I'm sure the players are getting confused with these squares.
Yeah, well, that might be the reason, but the interchange line is actually just out in front of us, and it's probably only 2 foot long, I guess, and obviously the players, they've probably got other things on their mind when they're coming off the ground, so maybe those lines should be a little bit longer and actually go out onto the ground.
Gee, is he a good kick, Dale Lewis?
He's a lovely kick, isn't he?
There, a magnificent kick. He's kicked his 3rd.
What about Dipper? You got any more on all of that?
Yeah, Bruce, I mean, the thing is, when the players come off, there is an interchange steward with the club, the Swans and the Richmond have one each, so they put the player on and off in between these markings. So really, the mistake is made by the interchange steward on behalf of both clubs.
You see there in the foreground Matthew Knights and Shannon Grant still dusting up with each other. But away go the Swans again. Cresswell for the centre bounce clearance towards full forward. Nearly taken down there by Kelly, but it's Chapman.
Free kick to Kelly, Robert.
Free kick to Kelly.
He was held on to by Duncan Kellaway.
So Kelly will kick for the Swans' 18th goal. He's kicked 2. And he'll be kicking from about 35 metres out. And he's going to get a 50-metre penalty. Well, this is incredible. Everything going wrong for Richmond. It really wasn't the player on the mark. It looks to me as though it's Campbell blooming about the decision with umpire Chris Mitchell. And Chris Mitchell saying, come back here with me, son. Kelly will kick from 1 metre out and kick his third.
It's a hefty penalty, isn't it?
Well, he was a doubtful quantity, wasn't he, from where he had the kick, but he was a certainty from where it finished up. 18-3. That is just fantastic kicking for goal. And Richmond, 8 goals, 9. The margin now is 54 points.
The other thing that's been disappointing for the Tigers, as we see this free kick against Duncan Kellaway, has been the fact that they've won most of the centre bounce hit-outs, Richmond. A clear hit-out in the centre bounce, but they haven't been able to clear the ball. And it's been their defence that's been under pressure.
Big crowd here. They're enjoying it. They're lapping it up, so to speak. 18-8. They've had a good run in Sydney. Unbeaten since round 2 in 1996. Last 15 matches have won 14 and drawn with Essendon. And they're certainly sailing away here. And their percentage was 98 going in. As we hear that Sydney song reverberating around the ground, and percentage is going to be an important part of this season. Richmond's was 84 prior to this, and they're losing a fair bit tonight unless they can come back. In the centre square, Troy Cook, who's been outstanding, kicks the ball up to the 50. Chapman worked underneath it, taken by Daffy. Daffy quickly onto the left boot to half forward again. Swans have got numbers. Roos belts it away. Well played though by Powell. Powell kicks the ball well inside 50. Gale there with Kerry. Good hands, Gale. Strong mark. It's really been Richmond's best play tonight, to get the ball forward and hope that a Richardson or a Holland and now a Gale can take a mark, because they've done it a few times.
I was just watching the Sydney Swans player in Orchard at that bounce in. Didn't pick up Nichols, just preferred to stay right down deep in his own defence, and they play this game of cat and mouse with their opponents. I think that their instruction from Robert Eade would be, if your player gets the ball, tighten up. If he doesn't, just keep doing on what you're doing.
So Gale, 30 metres out. He's given it a bit of a hawk. I reckon he's missed. And when you think back, Marinda missed 2. There was a missed chance at the start of this quarter, Broderick. Missed by Gale. They've had 4 pretty easy shots. Bit of ribbing going on from one of the Richmond fans there, from the Swan fans all around them. Some good-natured fun. But 4 gettable shots for goal make a difference. If you're, instead of 18-8, you're 18-12. It must be disheartening. Here's Lewis.
Well, Dale Lewis, you can see there what, well, he at ground level can't get that picture, but it's a terrific just idea of what Dale Lewis has in front of him. The kick in. Richardson was up high, couldn't take it. Broderick able to gather, get back onto his left, and then kick in towards the middle of the ground, and it's taken by Daffy. Looking to move it on quickly. He goes right across that half-forward line, where Michael Gale has come down from probably centre wing and has marked about 55, nearly 60 metres from goal. Goes short into the pocket, looks for and finds Richardson out in front there of Seymour. So Matthew Richardson, the only multiple goal kicker for Richmond at this stage of the match. Opportunity to kick his third. No trouble with distance. Tight angle. Kicking from about 30 metres. And it's a pretty good kick too. Well done by Matthew Richardson. He's kicked 3. 3 goals to the big full forward. Richmond hang in there, 9-10-64. Still 47 points in arrears.
Well, the Tigers, they've had more of the ball now than the Sydney Swans tonight. They've had 19 shots to 21. So it hasn't really been a big difference on that occasion. They've taken the ball into their 50-metre arc almost as many times, and yet they still trail.
18-3, 9-10. Richardson 3 goals, 1 in each of the first 3 terms so far. Let's hope he can build on that. Push forward by Prescott. Cook to Creswell. Kicks towards Chapman. Bond read it better. Took the mark in the back pocket. Chapman set the scene tonight, didn't he, with that
17
first goal?
possessions for Creswell, Bruce.
Quite achiever, isn't he, Creswell? Richardson, huge fly, couldn't hold it. Holland was in the front spot. Cook to Seymour. Now under pressure from Knights and run over the boundary line. Matty Knight's a bit frustrated, I think. He's probably seen that first half and not liked it a bit. And anxious to come back on and try and make a mark and a leader for the club. And he gave that free to Grant earlier in the quarter. It's going to be a lot better for this run tonight, and he's going to get a bit of frustration out of his system by the look of it. Creswell, well cut off by Prescott, and another boundary throw-in.
Actually, Bond's done a very good job on Chapman since he went on to him. Chapman got off to a flying start for the Sydney Swans, but he's been quietened down since Bond went man-on-man with him.
Stafford just gave a little push. Charles is going to get the free kick at the centre wing, right in front of the 7 commentary position. We're 7 flights up here. We've got a great view of the SCG. Terrific crowd here. And they're celebrating at the moment because the Swans look like they're having a big win. Kelly cuts it off the ground. He should run all the way. He's got Lewis inside of him. It's like a rugby situation. He's going to go all the way. Eat your heart out.
That was a terrible error then, but it was just like a gridiron situation, wasn't it? When a returned punter grabs hold of the ball and runs down the field and puts one over the line. On that occasion, Grant just became a foot race between Grant and Charles on this occasion.
It says a lot about modern day footy too, that there was nobody on that side of the ground for either team.
Well, the Swans push right up. When the ball goes up into the Richmond half, they push right up the ground to cover the space.
Well, they've kicked their 19th goal. And Shannon Grant has kicked his second. Bounce in the centre, Stafford beaten for it on this occasion, but it spills nearly for Creswell. Richmond force it out. Prescott, but the mark taken by Nix. Nix at right half back, goes out wide. Doesn't do it too badly either because he's given Arnott the chance to run onto the footy and take a pretty straightforward chest mark. Arnott's kick to centre half forward proper. Is that a mark to Gaspar? It's been paid. 2 players going high in the air, both getting a bit of a touch on it, but paid to Gaspar. Away to Knights, across the line to Michael Gale. Michael Gale's got Knights running in support. He's got to get there. He just can't reach it. And Ruse, just providing a presence, has forced it over for a boundary throw-in. So frustration there for Matthew Knights. Very, very heavily strapped left knee. And you've got plenty to smile about. You should be a little bit more cheerful than that. The Swans have just taken it right away from the Tigers so far in this match. And they lead quite comfortably at this stage. Harrison gets it away. Chaffee. Now the kick in towards centre half forward. Oh, big punch provided by Stafford. Goes out wide. Here's a chance for Prescott. Awkward bounce. Orchard was there for the Swans. So was Cook in the action. Broderick. And the umpire will bounce on centre wing.
That's an attacking punch from a defender, isn't it?
Terrific punch.
A ball that travels about 40 metres.
So the umpire to bounce. Just encroaching into Richmond's attacking half. The Swans have had all the answers. Stafford again forces it into the clear. Creswell not able to really get a clearance. Now Orchard gets around onto his right foot. A sneaky little kick provided there for Mooney. Gathered by Arnott. He bangs it onto his right boot and it bounces through for another goal. They've got 20 goals on the scoreboard. Out of their 21 players now have kicked goals for the Swans. Simon Arnott kicking his first, and the Swans get their 20th.
An incredible accuracy. Watch this from Arnott. Coaches talk about front and square. Arnott parked himself right where he felt the ball would be pushed, and he was rewarded. Look
at that lopsided scoreboard, 23 to 9-10. 23 shots to 19, but the difference is a 10-goal game. Stafford, Kelly got it from Grant. Grant going well in this term as he did in the first half. A handball by Gasper, all right. Charles out of the centre, bangs it back for Richmond, but Dunkley back with safe hands. He's got Roos wide. Holland held him up. It's a good move by Holland because Roos was away and they had to change direction, but it makes no difference because Stevens has found Stafford. Stafford at half back. Gets the ball to centre wing. Lewis is there with Kellaway. Oh, beautiful mark, Lewis. Quickly on to Maxfield. It's his right side to his left foot. Bangs it to full forward. High ball at the back. Belting it away was Gasper. Back to centre half forward. Pushing forward was Campbell. Taken by Chaffee. Chaffee quickly onto the boot. Roos trying to get back. Orchard there. They can work one another together. Orchard has been good to Roos. Roos away. And then with a high ball wants Bays out wide and he's got him. Bays about 80 metres from goal. Quickly on. Kelly provides the first of a couple of leads. They're coming from everywhere. Bays quickly into the forward pocket looking for Lewis. Doesn't get to him. Wastes the ball in the end by Bays. And a strong mark taken by Justin. Charles, he's off.
Yes, looked as though he was, but the umpire giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Good play.
Charles.
Good play by Charles to get back in the hole way.
Able to kick the ball away for Richmond. It may rebound. Gale, Prescott, kick ineffective. Bounces off the shin there of the Swans player in Nix. And over for a throw-in. They've been under lots of pressure, the Tigers, each time. Yes, you've got plenty to clap and cheer about. The Swans have been sensational. They've kicked 20 goals 3 to 9 goals 10. Harrison gets it down to Broderick. No one to give it to, so he's got to wait for Bond to get down into the play. Chris Bond into the pocket, and it's punched away there by Maxfield from Daffy, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. It's at left half forward for Richmond. About 51 metres from their goal. Ben Holland taken by Seymour over his left shoulder, goes long and wide, eventually over on the full. So the free kick to be taken out there underneath the Bill O'Reilly stand by Wayne Campbell for the Tigers. Plenty of Richmond fans here to cheer on their side, but they've been, well, grossly outnumbered by the Swans. There's lots and lots of red and white streamers and hats and whatever else. This is Campbell for Richmond.
Goes in short. Prescott again short to Charles. Charles wants to play on, does a Richardson and quickly does and goes to the pocket, wanting maybe a Richardson mark. Oh, good effort by Carey at the back. He's had a quieter game tonight. He's a very promising young player. Just a couple of kicks. Just floated that one too far for Cook. Chaffee. He's got Bond out wide. Goes back towards full forward with a high ball. Carey had a good run. Broderick should goal. Left foot round the body. Right to the goal square. Hasn't made it. It's away. And now Roos can set it up again. Draws to Kelly. Prescott cut him off. Had no momentum, Kelly, and the Roos kick was sitting there. And Prescott cut it off cleverly. Quite a game for Prescott tonight as well. He's had 8 kicks and a couple of handballs. It's been one of Richmond's best players this season. Would be high up in their best and fairest at this stage. That ball's coming back. That's a goal. Well done. So Prescott gets his first goal for the match. And Richmond go to 10. And speaking of 10, it's about 10 the difference. It's 20 goals 3 to 10 goals 10, 8 goals 5. Sydney's kicked 10 goals straight, we just found out. They were 10-3 and they're now 23.
It's been a marvellous display of efficient football by them, but I think Prescott's actually played a fair game, Bruce. He's picked up Kelly for most of the night. Kelly's only had 12 possessions and Prescott's really done his part.
Well, it's actually Prescott's first goal and Richmond get their 10th on the scoreboard. Kelly for the Swans kicks it up towards full forward. Bays a high leap. Gasper, Chaffee in the finish. Kicks it out wide. Michael Gale takes the mark and then plays on with a hand pass to Campbell. Campbell tries to get around and square it up. Now he's being shepherded nicely and will effectively get it away on his right foot. Down towards half foot. Oh, what a big leap provided there by Ben Holland. Powell onto his left foot. Just scrambles a kick towards the full forward line. It's a free kick though from where it came. Powell was infringed against.
He was pushed in the back as he kicked the ball, Robbo. Terrific gather then by Powell too. He has been a genuine live wire for them tonight. He's had 17 possessions and he's just provided a spark for the Richmond side. It's a difficult shot. Once again, they've been forced out wide.
Yes, he's very close to the boundary line. Down on the goal line, Brendan Gale has just absolutely dumped Andrew Dunkley, and now the kick is being reversed. Seymour and Holland running down the ground, but the kick for the Swans will go out wide towards the wing. It's punched away. Kelly at the fall of the ball. Prescott, well, probably didn't mean anything and acknowledges that with umpire Scott McLaren. And he, with a bit of common sense, just talks to Paul Kelly. So the umpire, boundary umpire, will throw it in. 20 goals 3 to 10 goals 10. We've got 4.5 minutes left in the third term. Orchard, who just is an honest worker for the Swans. Not a lot of possessions, but just working hard, doing his job. 1/21st of a contribution of the Swans, which shows them leading comfortably on the scoreboard. 123 to 70.
Hugely impossible to see Richmond getting back here. Charles building it forward. Little handball by Bond. Broderick. Ben Harrison around the body. Maxfield's got it. Quickly on to Roos. Roos away. Chips to Seymour at centre half back. Oh, takes a chance as he often does. Back to Chapman. Could be a turnover. Kelly beautifully done to Roos. Roos inboard is excellent. To Luff. Luff at centre half. Or centre wing, I should say. Into the centre. Finds Arnhem. He's a likely type, isn't he? He's only played a couple of games this season, but he's done well tonight. Bayes read it better than anybody. Couldn't take the mark, though. To Kerry, give a free kick away. Bayes comes through. Handball just missed Lewis. It had a bit much on it under pressure. Knights away. Gets to Gale. Gale gets it to Nichols. Nichols gets around Stevens just. Now Kellaway. Floats one to centre wing. Harrison underneath it. Roos comes in. Mark paid. And Harrison's got hold of it at centre wing. Quickly plays on. Out wide. Here's Nick Daffy. Daffy chips to Powell or Charles. Orchard has been good. It was a good effort there. Now Luff. And Luffy away. And delivers. It's good to see him back playing a Luffy. He's been in the twos for a little while.
And he's probably just been down a little bit in confidence, Bruce, but it's great to see him back. We need him fit and firing, and as I said, it's just good to see him back, and hopefully he'll get a few kicks and get a bit of confidence tonight.
Gasper's taken the mark, away to Nichols, across the full back line. Campbell, nearly up to the middle of the ground, looked to give the hand pass away. Forced to bounce, really, because he had no one to kick to. Then he kicks across the line. Coming out in front is Matthew Richardson. He's taken it about 30 metres back the other way and then kicks it into the middle. Stafford, gee, that would have been a very important possession for the Swans if he'd have been able to grab it. Bond to Chaffey. Chaffey's kick is pretty ordinary. Bit of a mongrel kick in the direction there of Ben Holland. Harrison taken to the ground, didn't have the football. And he'll take the free kick at centre half forward. Probably was there, but again, a very finicky free kick.
He's
Being allowed to play on. Kicks it into the pocket, and eventually nothing coming of that from a Richmond point of view.
And that gap getting wider and wider for the centre bounce clearances. Richmond 11, and the Sydney Swans have doubled that now. They're 22, and on this small Sydney ground, that is a huge advantage.
Carey at the back. Miranda tries to get through. Harrison did a good job. Nichols cleverly. Can he get the foot to it? He does. Creswell, well done. Belts it over the line.
So they don't give up an easy ball, do they, the Sydney Swans? We talk about how impressive they look when they've got the ball, but their defensive skills at harassing, chasing and tackling are as good as any side in the competition, and they cause a lot of turnovers.
So Seymour to bring it back in. He's given away a few free kicks tonight, Brad Seymour, but he's a very exciting player. Out wide to half back. Harrison getting a few touches. Ricochets off Kelly. Carey tried to belt it away. Bond's handball was pretty tight. Powers had a lot of the footy. Back to Bond. Back to Michael Gale. 45 metres out. Good kick, Michael Gale. Terrific goal. His first. Richmond keep plugging on. Good on them. 11-11 to 20 goals 3. 123 to 77.
Obviously, the Swannies just appearing to take a bit of a breather here. It's a difficult style of play that they do perform because it does require a lot of running, both when you have the ball and when you don't have the ball, and they will have their flat spots from time to time.
So first goal of the night for Michael Gale, and it brings up Richmond's 11th goal. There's another free kick. This time it might go to Richmond. Maybe too many numbers in the square, and it will be taken in the centre of the ground there by Charles. He gets it away to Nichols. Nichols down the ground, not a bad pass. Miranda's on the end of it. Bit of a resurgence provided here by the Tigers. Tim suggesting that maybe the Swans back on their heels momentarily. The kick by Miranda to the square. No mark. At the back, Ben Holland to Nichols. Hemmed in close to the boundary line as Trent Nichols not able to do much with the footy. Slipping and sliding out there on the turf at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Boundary throw in, left forward pocket for Richmond. Trent Nichols. He's kicked one goal so far in this match, being manned up at the moment by Orchard. Ball to the base of the pack. Still they struggle. Harrison, kick across his body. Good mark to Matthew Richardson in front of Andrew Dunkley. So Richardson from about 23 metres out directly in front really should kick his fourth and make it look reasonably good for the Tigers. 12-11 it could be, but on the other hand, the Swans have been terrific, haven't they? 20 goals, 3. Directly in front, Matthew Richardson. The camera from right behind the goals will tell you exactly what happens here. And it just, only by centimetres, got through for a goal. 4 goals to Matthew Richardson. 9 goal kickers for the Tigers, 12 goal kickers for Sydney. And that is the scoreline now. 12-11, the Swans are 20 goals, 3.
Well, you wouldn't have thought that Matthew Richardson had had a magnificent night, but at the same time, he's the most productive goal kicker on the ground at the moment. He's had 4 goals, he's had 6 marks, 11 kicks and 2 handballs, and he really hasn't had the ball delivered to him particularly well at all, and that ball just sneaking through there, almost shaving the goal post.
5 goals apiece in the third quarter, but Richmond with a few more behinds. Prescott through the centre, late goal here would be handy to full forward. Oh, good mark taken by Dunkley. He's got a superb pair of hands. He's not the best kicker in the world. Bond cuts it off, couldn't take the mark. Powell tried to get it back to Chaffey. Chaffey at about 50 metres. High ball inboard, wants a high mark from Richmond's point of view. Charles came in from the side. Carey belts it away. Knight's got a bad bounce. Maxwell works it beautifully to Shannon Grant through the centre. Grant looking for an option. Siren sounds and holds up the Swans. They kicked 5 goals without a miss. They've kicked their last 10 goals without a miss. There's Lachlan and Rodney here. That's interesting. Rocket really giving Michael A. Rocket there, and pretty unhappy about things at the moment. 20 goals 3 to 12 goals 11. 123 to 83. I guess, Plucker, that's something you don't practice on Monday, Tuesdays and Thursday nights, running off the interchange bench.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Bruce.
I just said it's something you probably don't practice, running off the interchange bench, but we just saw Rocket Eade give Michael O'Loughlin a pretty big talking to, and he's a bit unhappy at the moment if we have a look at him in there.
Yeah, he's always unhappy, I think, during the course of a game, but it is something you don't see very often at all, I think, and especially seeing 2 players in the one night do it. I don't know how you explain it, Bruce, but it's an unforgivable sin, I think.
Hey, just a brief one, Plugger. You played in the match against Carlton when you had the game basically won at half time. Is it hard to maintain concentration when you're well in front?
Well, I don't know about hard to maintain concentration, but it's very hard to dominate a game every minute of the game for 4 quarters, Bruce. So, you know, especially the intensity and the level that these blokes are playing at, you know, it's been a great contest, and as a spectator, I'd say that Richmond have had just as much ball as what Sydney have, but I just don't think they've polished their work off quite as good as what we have, and we tend to use the ball, I think, a lot better through the corridor. Richmond, on the other hand, have been pushed wide, I think.
Yeah, good point. Thanks, Tony. It's three-quarter time. Richmond trailing. They're 12-11. Sydney 20 goals, 3. They've stuck to it, and who knows, a couple of early goals, a bit of heart, and they might come home with a wet sail. Let's hope for the sake of the contest. 20 goals, 3 to 12-11. Tap by Gale. Quick kick by Powell, who's had a big night stats-wise. Oh, Lewis clever. Finds some space for himself and then bangs the ball back to centre half forward. Chapman couldn't get a run, and that's a good mark, isn't it? courageous mark. Going back.
No one ever doubts that about Duncan Callaway.
Scotty Turner wide, wants Daffy. Daffy's had most of his possessions wide tonight. Played as a centre wing half back more than a half forward goal shooter, and a boundary throw in.
But Bruce, that kick should have hit its target, and that's what's happened all night for the Richmond side. They just haven't been as efficient with their disposals as the Swans.
Orchard onto it. Brings the ball back towards a 4-4. Kelly, good fly, got over the top of Gasper. Would have hurt Gasper. Onto him was Leo Barry, and Gasper's got a free kick for an in the back. So Gasper in the back pocket wants to give it away. I think he'd still be feeling that Kelly jump a moment ago. Here's Powell.
Powell goes across the line and puts it on the chest of Callaway. Shannon Grant just a split second away, but not able to intercept. Callaway now gives the hand pass to Campbell, still looking to give it away. Succeeds in getting it over the top to Callaway, but Callaway being forced now to bomb away towards the wing, punched away by Maxfield. Trying to provide the contest was Daffy, but Roos is there to gather. Kick towards half forward. Terrific mark again across half back for Richmond, taken there by Duncan Callaway. Hand pass away. Gasper is at centre half back. He just kicks it straight to the opposition. Stafford not able to mark. Charles tackled by Stafford. Lewis a look away hand pass. Stevens will kick a goal, won't he? He just loves this. Bang, crash, opera, goal. Gee, it was a good kick, wasn't it? What are you looking at me like that for, Tim?
Did you say Bang Crash Opera? The name of the band is Boom Crash Opera.
Well, who cares? He kicked the goal. John Stevens gets his second.
Terrific play.
The
Watch
Swans
this.
get their 21st.
Chris Lewis, just that quick give. Sometimes
Did you
it's
say
all...
Chris Lewis? Did you mean Dale Lewis?
Dale Lewis. What's the name? Actually, the lead singer of Boom Crash Opera is Dale somebody. What's his surname?
Stevens with a couple of goals. Gee, I was the mug that said he wasn't a good kick. He's kicked two terrific goals tonight. Dale Lewis's handball was a gem, wasn't it? Through the centre. At it hard was Nichols. Maxwell's had a good game. Out wide to Dale. Lewis has to stretch. He's got some support. Maxwell quickly to Lewis. Lewis on his wrong side. That's not a good kick. They should have done better there, Sydney. And Turner takes the mark, holds his ground. Oh!
He'll get the kick given against him now, surely.
I hope he... Well, Gasper's at Mooney too. They just don't want to give it away here, the Tigers, because he earned the kick the hard way, took the mark.
Doesn't give him any right to do what he did then, though, after that. Huh?
Well, he was upset. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Oh, that's a free kick to Roos, surely. Cook will give it back to Roosie. So Roos right in front of us. 21-3 to 12 goals 11.
Roos into the pocket. Leading player was Kelly. He just throws himself at the football with such ferocity. You'd reckon he'd have to get injured, but he's just a great player, Paul Kelly. Michael Gale now to Prescott. Prescott from centre wing. Kicks towards the front of the goals for Richmond, about 40 metres out. Kicked away by Richardson. Found Broderick. Broderick trying to get a little bit of space for himself. Squeezes a kick to full forward. Richardson couldn't take the mark. Carey is there. Richardson breaks the tackle. Snapshot for goal has gone across the face and out of bounds in the left forward pocket for Richmond. It'll be thrown in right up against the behind post.
And Robbo, some great defensive play then by Dunkley. He actually belted the arm. It should have been probably a free kick in the strict sense of the law. Belted the arm of Brendan Gale, who's about to take that ball, and caused the ball to spill.
So the ruck contest, Ben Holland and Stafford. Stafford from behind, an effective punch. Broderick tries to get it closer to goal. Miranda not able to gather. And it'll be thrown in once again. So maybe any chance Richmond had of making this game a contest snuffed out by the 21st goal for the Swans. There's a goal kick for Richmond.
Holland
is well done by young Holland. Ben Holland kicks his first goal and Richmond get their 13th, but they still trail by 40 points.
A bit of work this by the young fellow. Stafford going to ground, and Holland having the presence of mind to wrap the ball in the big mitts and put it through for a much needed goal. And the Tigers really going to have to string 4 or 5 together here.
13-11 to 21-3, so back to 40 points. The margin it was at three-quarter time was 21 at quarter time and 43 at half time. Stafford won the tap. Charles, good tackle on him by Maxfield. Daffy, oh, well played, Maxfield with a smother too. Decided not to handball to Grant, but kicks it beautifully to Lewis. Gee, Stuart Maxfield, that was great football. Persistence.
Sensational play then by Maxfield. And Trent Nichols took a look downfield. He saw Lewis on his own. He thought, no, I'm going to stay up here. You come and pick me up. And then the turnover's forced by a terrific defensive bit of play by Maxfield, and Lewis is on his own.
3 times this year, Lewis has kicked 4 goals in a match. Will this be the 4th? It is. 4 again. With Tony Lockett on the boundary line and not playing for the moment, Dale Lewis is the leading goal kicker at the club with 19 goals this season.
Yeah, that was a terrific kick for goal, that one, Bruce. And, you know, Dale, after having an ordinary start to the game, I thought he was taken off the ground. He's come back on, he's kicked 4 goals, and he certainly hasn't done his state Guernsey in a couple of weeks, or next week, any harm at all. He's really put his head down, and he's really had a great second, third, and hopefully a real good last quarter.
In fact, Maxfield put a tackle on Charles before that smothered too. Terrific defensive work.
13 possessions to Dale Lewis and 4 goals. Caps off a good game. A good game also by that player, Darren Cresswell. Luff. Oh, that's a great pick-up by Shannon Grant. Yeah, lovely kick too for a goal. You just have to have another look at this. I mean, that full pelt, that is sensational.
That was sensational play, but it just crossed my mind. Look, once again, Richmond getting the knock, and the Swans have just camped there. Cresswell's camped there all night, and Luff handball, and I would have thought that perhaps Rodney Eade mightn't have been too happy had that not gone through for a goal.
So exciting, this team. 23 goals to 13. They seem to get their goals in bursts too, don't they? They'll kick 3 goals in 3 minutes, 3 goals in 2, break a game up, and then sit on a team for 10 minutes. Kick forward there by the Tigers to centre-half forward. Seymour attacks, high bounce, but he did it well. Was going to get the handball off. He often runs with the ball wide. Wants Shannon Grant. Geez, good player, this kid. There's been some talk about him being unsettled in Sydney. He's doing some part-time work at Channel 7 at the moment, and so we do see a bit of him during the week, and his attention to footy is 100%. There's no question about that, and it's showing on the field. He's having a very good match and a good season. Powell's been great. Handball over to Bond. Bond through the centre. Runs about 30 metres with a couple of bounces. Punches to full forward. Oh, good mark at the back. Taken by Richardson. Plucker, just a quick comment on Richardson. Do you think he's a bloke that might kick 100 goals eventually, or do you think he might play up the field? Where do you see his role?
I think he's an ideal centre-half forward, but you know, it really has given the Tiger fans a lot of heart tonight, because he has taken some very strong marks, I think. And for Richmond to go a long way in this season, they're going to rely on Matthew Richardson a hell of a lot, and it's just good to see him taking some good strong grabs.
Kick 5 goals, it's a good effort.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, as a full forward, if you can have 5 or 6 kicks and kick 5 or 6 goals, I think, you know, you've certainly done your job. And you know, it'd be great for Richmond if he could really get some form and you know, start kicking some big bags.
Well, Plugger, can you force your way back into this side?
Well, I just said to Dipper before, look, I might have a permanent job on the boundary here the way they're going.
Hey, you're doing a good job down there too.
It's going to be very hard to get me way back, I think.
You enjoying it down there on the boundary line with Dipper?
I am, but I would rather be out there.
Well, it's been a terrific performance by the Sydney Swans in this match tonight. And I think, Bruce, you mentioned that they were 10-3, so they've kicked 13 goals straight now. Matthew Richardson with 5 goals. Cook again, just continues to get the footy. It's at centre-half forward for the Swans, gathered by Gasper. Over the top, Turner had to make a little bit of ground and gathered. Kicks it out wide, and not too bad either. He's found Chaffee. Chaffee is at right half back. Kicks the ball in towards centre-half forward. Dunkley just out-positioned his opponent on that occasion and took the mark quite nicely in the finish. Goes into Stafford. Stafford a handball over the top. Gee, Roos is good, isn't he? I mean, that is a great possession again there by Paul Roos. Kicks towards half forward, but Gasper has taken the mark at centre half back. He looks to play on. Kicks it out. to the front there of Matthew Knights. That awkward oval bouncing ball. Matthew Knights back to Charles, back to Daffy. Short kick by Nick Daffy, all right. And the mark is taken by Harrison.
Centre wing. He's had a bit of the footy. Floats a drop punt to half forward. Richardson, fantastic mark. What a grab.
Hanger.
Shades of Michael Roach in that moment.
He's kicked 5. Once this season he's kicked 6. It was when the Tigers were beaten in the last quarter by the Western Bulldogs. He's a sensational young player. 22 years of age. Gives it all he's got. Coming back, will it get the distance? It's high in the air. It doesn't. And Stafford, like every good ruckman, gets back there on the goal line and takes the mark. Bad luck for Richardson, he deserved a goal. It was a terrific mark and a pretty good kick. Just got under it in the end. There is a little bit of a bruise and probably just caught hold of it. Stafford having to come back over the mark. Just arguing the point of law with the umpire there on that.
He's a much improved player too, isn't he, Greg Stafford?
He's a great player.
Not much room there to get the kick away. Only a couple of metres. Kicks it out towards half-back, and Lewis has taken a good mark close to the turf. Would have done the Slipsfieldsman in the Test match proud. That Lewis's kick will land at centre wing, punched away by Campbell, gathered there by Callaway, sets it up for Knights. Look away hand pass didn't really work. Miranda beaten for it. Chapman towards centre half forward. No mark. The gather by Gale. Might be a free kick though. And it's coming back to be taken by Mooney. Mooney, well, a quiet night by his standards, just 4 possessions. He's kicked a goal. He kicks it in long, and it will go for a goal. Shepherd down there, and a goal to the Swans, kicked by Mooney. Second goal to that player. And some good shepherding work in the goal square gets the Swans' 24th goal.
And the thing about the Sydney Swans side is the fact that they never appear to choose the wrong option, do they? They're a well-drilled side. They know exactly what they're trying to achieve every time they grab hold of the ball and go forward.
So not many possessions, but a couple of goals to Mooney. A contribution. Sydney's highest score for 1996 was 24 goals 8. In 1997 their highest score is 21-16 prior to tonight. They've bettered that tonight. Kick forward by Orchard. Inboard. Mooney's there. Barry forces his way forward. Miss Kelly with the handball. Back with Miranda. Miranda caught by Cook. Taken by Creswell. Will this be another one? Oh, he's missed it. They've missed for the first time since the second quarter. They kicked 14 consecutive goals. 24-4 to 14-11.
Probably boo him off the ground now. He's been a good player though, Darren Creswell. 20 possessions. The kick in straight up the ground. It'll come bouncing back though. Stevens, snapshot from about 50 metres, will bounce over for a throw-in. Left forward pocket for the Swans. They lead 24 goals 4 to 14 goals 11. O'Loughlin, we've already spoken about the fact that he can't come back onto the ground. Similar situation for David Burke for Richmond. Both going off the ground outside the interchange area. Amazing. Mooney, Kelly. Trush tries to make something out of it, does Paul Kelly, and still scrounging at ground level. Umpire will bounce about 25 metres out from the Swans' goal. Another fantastic crowd, Bruce, here. There was 40,000 here the other night when they played Collingwood, over 35,000 tonight. The bounce of the ball, only 20 metres from the Swans' goal. Chaffee on Dale Lewis. Chance there for Broderick, kick by Cook. Misses. 1-1 to Troy Cook. And down on the boundary line. Plugger, what would they be going for now, do you think, in the last few minutes? Just to bury them completely?
Oh, well, I mean, I think that's the attitude you've certainly got to take. It's it's been a great effort all night by the boys, and it would certainly be great to finish off a great night's work by kicking another 3 or 4 goals. That'd make 27, 28 goals, and that's just an incredible effort. And they certainly deserve the way they've played to finish off their work. We need the percentage. It'd be just great for the club.
Stafford out wide. He's got Barry loose. Leo Barry from about 55. Floating kick. Looks like Kelly's come off the ground, and does look a little bit sore, so he got a terrific cheer there, and that'll be Paul Kelly's night's work. So after kicking 14 goals without a miss, the Swans have got 3 consecutive points. 36,428 the official attendance tonight. Bang back inside, rattle it here. Dale Lewis uses the wide option. Here's Grant getting it from Maxfield. Another goal. 4 goals to Grant. 3 of them in the second half, 2 of them in the final quarter. It's a very impressive scoreline. It's a 10-goal game again.
And Bruce, all the Swans running over to Mooney. Watch this knockback. There he is behind, thumps the ball a good 30 metres, and there's just a number of Swans camping back there after the kick in, and it was just a matter of raffling it between them.
Just got a little bit of ability, hasn't he, Shannon Grant? 16 kicks and 16 possessions for 4 goals. Free kick or free possession out of the centre. Orchard takes from Stafford. Orchard's kick into the pocket will be marked by Turner for Richmond. Left back pocket for the Tigers. Can go into centre half back where Matthew Knights had made reasonably good position. And now a 50-metre penalty. But obviously the player on the mark not coming back quickly enough. And it was Arnott who was the infringing player in that circumstance. So Scotty Turner can go into the middle of the ground. And the mark is taken here for Richmond by Prescott. He's right in the middle of the Sydney Cricket Ground. He kicks it out towards right half forward. Bounces to the front. Powell. Kick towards full forward. Goes past Nichols. Gathered by Dunkley. Left foot kick. Not too bad, actually, in those circumstances. A boundary throw-in. Paul Kelly came off Dipper.
Yes, sir, Robbo. We see his right shoulder, which is bandaged fairly heavily. He's only got it iced at the moment, so he's not happy about being off the ground, but the tough customer he is. And a few stats on Tony Lockett tonight. 3 pies, 5 cups of coffee and 3 biscuits. It's not bad for a player who's not playing.
He's out of form, Dipper.
He's obviously.
Daffy's high ball. Write those down, Dipper. I want those in my stats book. To half forward. Ruse after it. Quick little kick. Cross the ground. Luff versus Gale. Gale onto him. Well done, Luffy, though. Maxfield's been terrific. Ruse has been excellent. Be hard to pick their best players. Front squad owner. That's good balance and strength against Kellaway to hold your ground and take the mark. He's done enough, hasn't he? Kicks to centre half forward. Mooney worked underneath. No free kick. Gasper's got it. Mooney did stage it a bit towards the end and probably didn't help his cause. Short to Miranda. Prescott was inside. Quickly plays on. Gets to Kellaway. Kellaway's got Prescott running. Cook will try and hold him up. Kellaway getting back. Kicks the ball to centre half forward. Richardson for the big fly. 3 Swans there. Forced forward by Nix. We saw him not too long ago on the interchange. Orchard, good. Barry, good. Creswell back to Grant, having a terrific game. Creswell's floating kick. Stevens needs courage. Gasper at him. Couple of disappointed Swan players because they thought they were in a better position. Nichols comes out, little kick to Miranda. Miranda to Prescott. Prescott can attack the goal. That's a good kick. Richardson every chance to take it. Dunkley with strength held his ground. Good contest for so late in the game. Nix onto it. Going to be a bounce. 25-6 to 14 goals 11 the score here.
Good play then by Dunkley because he really was in the wrong position with the ball travelling. And he just went back and claimed Richardson early. Richardson then not able to get the last push at him.
No free kick. Orchard. Cook back to Harrison. Harrison's kick is a behind. What do you think, Tim? Home ground advantage Sydney. you'd have to rank it as high as West Coast in Perth, maybe higher now, and Adelaide in Football Park. This might be the toughest ground to come to.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Bruce. And I was thinking before, if they do win enough games, they make the finals. This is going to be some advantage for them if they can finish high enough on the ladder.
Short last year, didn't we, with Hawthorn and Essendon in finals, winning here.
Grant's kick in has been marked by Miranda. Miranda for Richmond. Just tries to float the kick to half forward. Getting back with Stevens. Off the ground by Cook. Not clear by Bond. Chance here for Matthew Knights. Around onto his left foot. Goes across the half forward line. No one home. Roos is there for the Swans. Just puts his body in on every occasion, Paul Roos. Terrific game again tonight by that player. The ball on centre wing was in dispute momentarily, but Michael Gale quickly. Campbell, good vision. Daffy's a chance, but he's going to kick it straight down the throat back there of Paul Roos. Stevens was there. Cook crumbing beautifully on the full back line. Kicks it to Maxfield. Wouldn't mind being on the end of a left foot pass from Stuart Maxfield towards half forward. Nearly taken by Mooney. Gathered by Barry. Back to Mooney. What about Maxfield? He delivered the kick down there and then got it back again. Kicks towards the front of the goals. It's in dispute. No, free kick against Arnott maybe, and we'll go to Callaway. Swans supporters didn't like that. Kick out wide has been marked by Holland.
Half-back kicks to centre wing. Harrison there with Carey.
You talk about Paul Kelly, and he is an inspirational leader. And one of the reasons why he is such an inspirational leader is his work rate. And it's infectious when you see the captain of the club working as hard as he does to get to every contest. Then obviously that's infectious with the players.
Holland brings it down in front. Love pushes forward. Michael Gale around his body, keeping his eye on it. Harrison, that's a great mark. Gee, that's a good sign when you can take a mark like that. Broderick, well done. To Moore quickly on with the bounce, gets inside 50, loves a goal as we know, and goes for it and kicks it. Good effort. Two goals to Ben Moore, just like last week. He'll be happy with that. Last effort, maybe not the whole night.
And that's the running at them type play that Richmond really needed to do more of tonight. They just haven't had enough positive bits of play when they've been able to break a line, open up their options and run into the forward line from kicking distance. Sydney Swans defence has just dominated this game once again.
Well, it's been a pretty good performance by the Swans overall. They've had something like 12 goal kickers out of the 21 players that have been able to take the field. And they're a real chance to score another one, but Miranda might have something to say about that for Richmond. Across right half back, he kicks back towards the wing, but the kick just lacking accuracy and precision there. Miss Prescott, and Orchard is there for the Swans, and Marks just forward of centre wing. Goes in towards centre half forward, looks for and finds Dale Lewis. When he's on song, Dale Lewis, gee, he does look a real class act.
There's no doubt about that. He was beaten early by Michael Gale, had a spell on the interchange bench, and since he's come back onto the ground, Michael Gale hasn't picked him up. He's had 10 marks, 10 kicks, 6 handballs, and he's kicking for goal number 5. A fair night's effort.
You'd have to give him a chance too. The player on the mark is about 45 metres from goal. He'll have to kick at 50 metres to score, but this is an absolute Oh, it was a touch. It was by Chris Bond. And through for just a behind. 4 goals, 1 to Dale Lewis. 25-7 to 15-12. 53 points is the advantage for the Swans.
Wide to Kellaway. But, the defence was good there. Seymour.
The Swans will see their bench. Mark Bayes there having a rest. Paul Kelly also rested. The Swans have just worked, I believe, too hard in that midfield for the Richmond side tonight too. They certainly have held sway there.
Mooney tried to give it to Seymour. It was a hot ball taken by Campbell. Campbell's kicked to centre wing. Holland in the front spot. Stafford against him. Couple off the grounds. Well done, Miranda. Harrison's been all right. Had a fair bit of the ball tonight, about 28 possessions. Here's Daffy, centre wing. handball along the line to Moore. Moore, who kicked the last goal, over the top to Broderick. Now can Broderick kick one? He's on a tight angle. He's going to try and run all the way in and then go for a little one, floating. He's done it. Clever goal, Broderick. So late goals to the Tigers, making that scoreline look a little bit better. 16-12 wins you most games in 1997, but not tonight against 25 goals 7.
And really, you'd have to say that the Sydney Swans have just let their foot off the accelerator a little bit, allowing Richmond for the second time this quarter to run the ball deep into their forward line. And very skillful kick here from Broderick. He measured this kick, didn't come off the boot too magnificently, but got the right result.
Well, Paul Broderick, with his 23rd possession, kicks Richmond's 16th goal. Swans a chance to get clear. Cook smothered. Rather indiscriminate attempt to clear the centre congestion, but eventually Richmond get the ball towards left half forward. Seymour, in goes Prescott, taken away by Barry. Handball finds Luff. Luff sizes it up, kicks it into the pocket. Mooney off the ground there, or out of the air by Turner. Is that on the full?
Yes.
It was, and the free kick will be taken by Dale Lewis.
On the right side for a left footer. Robbo, do you reckon he'll try and bend one back around?
I think he might as well. He's kicked 4, 5 would make it a real top night. You wonder what the coach would be looking for in this circumstance. Maybe a kick to the front of the square, but you can have a look there at Dale Lewis. Swans are leading this match at the moment by 49 points. Dale Lewis can make it 55. It's not a bad effort, touched right on the line. The 4 goals, 2 to Dale Lewis. Gasper getting to it with just centimetres to spare.
So a good effort, good kick by Lewis and a terrific effort by Gasper. Turner. Short. Chaffee. Been on the interchange for a fair bit of the night. Out wide to Chris Bond. Bond, ball touched off the boot, so bouncing ball at half-back. Chapman onto it, Gasper onto Chapman. He had it for a while. Didn't get rid of it, missed by Broderick. Taken by Barry. Fresher legs, back to Cook. Cook must be tired. Daffy took it off him. Daffy's handball on the ground, but okay for Nichols. Nichols away. A penetrating kick to fall forward. Richardson had a bit of it. Carey gets back. Dunkley towards the boundary line. Charles with him out of play. Charles annoyed.
And Richardson still hasn't got full strength back in that arm. I'd suspect, just looking at the way he's gone for a number of balls tonight. He's still had a wonderful game though, 5 goals.
He's made a terrific comeback, hasn't he? His 3rd match back. We thought he'd be out for half a dozen to 8 weeks, and he's only out for 3 weeks. So it's been a bonus for the Tigers to have him back in the last 3 weeks.
You just notice it in those pushing and shoving type duels where he really does favour the opposite arm. And on most occasions, it's not enough for him to manoeuvre his opponent out of the way.
Part of the big crowd that have gathered here tonight, 36,000, over 36,000, to watch this great performance by Sydney. Broderick for the Tigers has kicked another goal. Well done by Paul Broderick. No, he hasn't. Looked to me as though it went through, but obviously may have been touched off the boot. 1 goal, 2 against his name. 25 goals, 8. Plays 16 goals, 13. Kick in. Orchard. Hand pass back to Seymour. Seymour short. Grant has the footy. Grant at right half back. 1 3/4 minutes left in the game. So a big win coming up for the Swans in what probably looked like a bit of a danger game against the Tigers. Taken by Holland.
What?
Now advantage is with Richmond. Holland's kick to half forward. Richardson from behind. Second effort pretty good. Throws it onto his foot and kicks it high in the air. It'll land in the pocket. Nichols beaten. The bounce was awkward. Stevens to go back and help Dunkley. Dunkley not able to control. Boundary throw in.
Plugger, thanks for your efforts tonight. We've really enjoyed it. Just a final thought from your point of view?
Yeah, I think everyone at the Sydney Swans, especially Rocket, will be very happy with the effort tonight. They've kicked 25 goals, which is a great effort in any game, and looks like we're starting to hit a bit of form right at the right part of the season, Bruce.
Thanks, Tony, and look forward to having you back on the ground, mate.
Good on you, Bruce. Thanks very much.
He just got a big cheer, Tony Lockett, because they saw him on the big scoreboard. And and he's done a mighty job for us tonight. Off the ground, through from behind, and a Richmond peppering away.
It's amazing, isn't it, though, because you look at the difference, 48 points now, and probably Rodney Eade's not going to be that happy with the way his players have finished off tonight. Yet if you had have asked him at the start of this game, would he have been happy with a 48-point victory, he probably would have said yes.
8 goals is a lot in anyone's language, isn't it? Kellaway's mark, so we're in the last minute now. Stevens 17 possessions. There's been a lot of high gatherers on both teams. Just a floating kick by Kellaway. It's a bit of a trademark at times. Seymour breaking through. Can the Swans get one last one to send this crowd home in a delirious state? Kicks wide to Dale Lewis. Mooney, he's a chance. Lewis is a great chance for number 5. It's close, he's got it. That's the cream on the cake. $26 goals 8 to 16 goals 14. A 9-goal game. Lewis with 5 goals. And, well, I know there's a lot of Richmond fans right around Australia watching this match, but I think from what we've seen tonight, it's probably a fitting reward that Sydney did get the last goal, because they've made the running all night tonight. Lewis, 5 goals after being taken off the ground early. He's come back in champion style, really. The Swans go forward. Knight's off the ground. I'll be pleased just to have him back. Orchard's handball, that's it. 9-goal win of the Swans. So that winning run continues here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 16 matches now without defeat, 1 draw, 15 wins. You've got to go right back to the day Fremantle beat them in round 2. Troy Cook was a star today, Dibber. You've got him with you.
He certainly was a superstar and a very popular boy here, Troy, but 9 games and you're starting to play fantastic football.
Yeah, last 2 weeks I've been trying to string a few together. Just get a bit of the ball as much as I can. We're in a good spot at the moment now that we won this one, and this will put us right up in the finals contention, I think, this game.
It's a terrific win, wasn't it, really, because before the game was a very even competition.
Oh yeah, this game was crucial for us to win. The boys set themselves to make sure we don't lose at home. This was a real big one for us. Now this puts us right back in the finals contention for sure.
Now Tony Lockett reckons that you are the most popular person in Sydney. Is this true?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Keelan Plugger's got me for that. Yeah.
Now do you like playing on the ball?
Oh yeah. That's where I play most of my best footy there. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Well played tonight, and go and join the boys.
Thanks so much.
Good on you, Dibber. What a winning and engaging smile Troy Cook has got. He's got a huge future. Swans' future looks bright in 1997. It was a fabulous performance, outclassing Richmond tonight. In the end, it was a 54-point victory. It was the Swans 26 goals 8 to Richmond 16 goals 14 before 36,428 fans.